The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo. Seven. One of the best movies ever. Some clips I modified from it. The Earth Stood Still. One of the classics. And what's the other one? Forbidden Planet. They're the two that I loved from the old days. So yeah, see how it goes. Google seemed to say there was no data, even though it seems to be working. Now it says excellent connection. So yeah, and then the preview wasn't sort of playing. So I thought, can't reboot and reset it all up again. So I'll do a reload of the browser. It seems to be working now. Hopefully, anyway. There were a couple of people waiting, or pretending to wait. John is probably in bed. So yeah, where are we up to? I've been pretty busy with other projects that I have to complete, as you know, if you're on Discord. Setting up and routing phones. That's putting super user on, not actually damaging them. When you root a phone, it sounds like you're sort of smashing it up, but that's the old terminology from Linux or Linux days. Unix, you know, and they still use that as the base and just clip on a GUI. Apple, Android, Microsoft is the only one that didn't do it. They all went their own way. But anyway, what's this? Michael King. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see you today, but thanks a lot. It hasn't played the tune or anything though. Hasn't updated this, so I'm not sure if there's any other things. Oh, here we go. It's just a wee bit behind. Good, finally caught up to us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, OBS run these extra add-ons, right? I'm pretty sure they're getting more and more overloaded as more and more people start streaming. That's why I like to create my own software, like the control panel here, which I don't make much use of as I should do. But you get all those emanations, which are pretty good, where I can set the side chatters and the guest if he swears and stuff like that. Here it comes. The Terminator Nazi UFO. There it goes. It's going to sap you, Michael King. Thanks much for your donation. But the evil empire out there, the MUFON Dream Panel, I'm not happy, so they're going to sap you. Here we go. You're going to be nuked. actually all of us are going to be nuked. Actually, number 2 is probably a bit better. That's normally for the guest up the top, but yeah, the nuclear bomb one's a bit better. I'll just play that one too. Dun dun dun. Good movie that too. Terminator. Classic, isn't it? Same UFO. They've come back with a nuclear bomb this time. The Germans have invented it. So, some still think some of the UFOs out there could be the Fourth Reich. Yeah, T2 was good. And the latest one was very woke. I had Arnie breastfeeding. There you go. You've all been sacked. The way the world's going, it wouldn't be too far-fetched, you know. The aliens come with their nuclear weapons. Isn't that the case with the new bombs now? What are they called? Atomic hydrogen bombs. They use a little nuclear detonation to set off a larger one, which doesn't cause as much radiation. So only takes like 20 years for the radiation to be safe again. So they could wipe out all the Earth if they wanted to, but I think the better way would be to just grab a big asteroid from the asteroid belt and hurl it all down from outer space. We wouldn't have a chance. So it's all working fine still. So I got the stamps that I should be using every episode, really. There you go. How many times would you use that stamp though? Quite a lot. Plus frauds. Let's have a look. What stamp was that one? There you go, fraud. So you'd probably use that quite a lot too. There's quite a little stamps here that I should be using. And you got the cool bell one, emanation. Went to Goofon's one. There's a one for Goofon too, where he's lying about his UFO sightings. Of course, they're all balloons or butterflies or easily identified stuff, satellites, planes. But nowadays we've got the pleasure of having the use of the apps. Okay, thanks for that. Again, like looks like you might be the only one hanging around or on the side chat anyway. So it reckons that's come to 19 New Zealand dollars. This shows how crap our money is. Yours is worth more than ours by far. Thanks a lot for that anyway. It's amazing how much more people get paid outside New Zealand. That's why a lot of people leave New Zealand, because the money is only half of what other people get in the rest of the world. It's pretty crap. So yeah, I'll just minimize that and get on with the show. So Goofon again has been trying to get me on Twitter with his new account. I haven't blocked him yet, but I'm just ignoring him because I know he can't stay away, because I'm always exposing him and his team of idiots. Liars, scumbags. Even if they are funny, they're sort of making a mockery of the whole ufology, mixing in truth with lies. This is what I'm finding. Lions Ground's even doing that now, claiming that Stan Romanek was convicted of distribution of child porn. He was acquitted, actually. That's just fake news right there. He got done because they found a USB disk and the undeleted stuff that was on his hard drive, which Stan said he found and deleted. So, but there's a whole big thing with that one. It wasn't clear cut. They wanted to prove in court that the cop was dirty. He was known for planting evidence, and they're saying that that the USB stick was actually planted, which is very possible. You know, what kind of world do we live in where we think that cops are not dirty out there still? They just only last year found one that was actually a serial killer for 40 years living amongst them. That would be the ideal, to be a serial killer, is to be a cop, wouldn't it? And we've seen all these little videos, like Plex has posted onto our Discord, where cops are misbehaving badly and over stepping their authority, you know, public spaces, telling you to get out of a car park and sidewalk and all that because they've got a camera. So I don't know, America is the land of corruptions, and if someone was being abducted and start to get some evidence together, which we can't really say whether it's CGI or whatever, because I can't see any errors in it myself, or puppeteer, but he had the alien looking through the window, which could have been, you know, easily hoaxed. Anything could be hoaxed. Doesn't mean it was, because you can duplicate a event doesn't mean that it didn't actually happen. You know, Mojo's another one that people said he was a hoaxing. Well, he put a lot of effort into it if he was. But yeah, Stan Romanek, you know, when people are saying, oh, if you support him, then you should go to jail too. That's just nonsense talk from Lions Ground recently. He's just trying to annoy me with that kind of talk. Me, I'm sort of balanced. I have a balanced view on things. I know a lot more technical stuff than those guys ever do. Because they spend their whole life with Adobe After Effects, they think they're king's bee's knees or Blender or whatever. You know, I can sit down and teach myself all that sort of stuff. Back in the old days, we were using really, really old software. So, you know, it's like either you keep up with it or you learn other stuff. And me, I'm just a mixed bag of everything, you know. Not everybody can root phones, Android phones. Not everybody can code their own scripts to interact with Minicam or OBS like I can. No one can do graphics like I can. I wouldn't say I was the greatest artist, but at least I can do stuff. I can create my own music and create my own software, you know, talking avatars, you know, all done by me. Just need the graphics are really the hardest one. And if you can get images and PD images and modify them, that's a lot easier, you know. Yeah, I better catch up with the side chat, shouldn't I? So, yeah, Stan Romanek, he's an oddball PD, I find. His wife stood by his side right to the end, and I still believe she's with him. No one's come forward, you know, like kids or anything, because normally someone comes forward and says, yeah, he was touching me, he was having sex with me. A bit like Rolf Harris and those other guys. So, yeah, where are all those hardcore witnesses that proves beyond doubt that he was a pedo? As far as I know, I haven't heard of any references to people coming forward. Maybe there's been updates to that, I don't know. So I haven't really looked into Stan for a few years now, but I know a lot of his sightings, people could back up his claims. So does that make him a fraud? So you got Lions Ground saying he's complete fraud. He may embellish stuff, of course. A lot of people tend to, once they like the attention they're getting. and the money they're making. But yeah, the alien that looks around the corner, even Rojas said no way did he fake that, you know, it's just too well done. And why would he even bother, you know, because he'd be found out, you know, everybody gets found out eventually. So in other words, someone would come forward and say, help make that public, or, you know, maybe he was pranked, you know, like someone may have had access to his house that actually stored those videos on his phone. Who knows? The government didn't. Maybe they found him to be not fitting in with their ideal situation, right? So I'm not defending Stan, but I'm saying it's not clear cut with him, like other pedo cases, you know, where you got people coming forward. You know, finding evidence could have been left by anyone, because he had so many people drop by his house and stay with him. So yeah, you just have to listen to the whole history of Stan. I spent a bit of time listening to all the different stories, because I was a bit suspect of him, and I thought, well, give him benefit of the doubt here. He's looks like a really sick man, and he looked like he was suffering with this investigation of the child stuff, and the threats on his family and stuff. So I don't know. He had that strange telephone call where had that strange voice come through, and it was using that true type voice, and people were saying he's doing it himself and all that. I'm not too sure. I've seen the strange things that can happen to my computer where people can take it over, and I have the highest security possible, you know, and me being a computer scientist, even I couldn't see how they got through the defenses, and the virus scanners obviously don't detect it. My dad was actually targeted by students as well. They were sending him jokes in email, but some of them were executables, and because he got infected with, someone had modified some peer-to-peer software where they could monitor the screen, right? And it wasn't being detected up as a Trojan or anything, because it was actually commercial available software. And a lot of these virus companies actually get paid off by big corporations not to include them in as spammers or suspect companies, and they're on the back door, you see. This is how they all make their money. Even Adblocker started taking bribes, and ads started coming through from dodgy companies, right? You've heard all the privacy stuff that went down. Brave was another one, the Brave browser. Even though it was faster, then they started getting caught with dodgy stuff on, if you do some research on it. Why didn't he do it? I don't know. Hang on, let me just scroll up. Let's go through the comments. Yeah, pedo is a very dodgy subject, especially in ufology, and there hasn't been a few pedos which have solid evidence. You know, people, like 10 people have come forward and said, yeah, he did that to me. And now you're getting that with a lot of people, like high school teachers and priests and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, let's start at the top here. I used Linux and work, or Linux, depending how you want to say it, all the time. Yeah, it's okay. It's a lot of command line stuff, but once you start creating your own graphical user interface on top of it, it's not too bad. But I like how Windows do the drivers way better than the complexness of Unix, right? There we go. That was the thing that popped up, wasn't it? All command line and work for minimal resources. Yeah, if you watch my early streams, I was using command line with graphic programs to rip a video down to JPEG, so you can then enhance each JPEG, which is a frame, into the video editor, then reassemble it as a video to stabilize it manually, and apply all the different filters, which you can't do with commercial software. You got your brain versus the AI things, although it's getting better all the time, isn't it? T2, yep, amazing. Yeah, crazy exchange rate. Well, over here, UK's come over after selling their houses, and they can buy a whole bunch of houses and rent them out, and they live the high life over here. And obviously the nice countryside and scenery we have here, which is very much a small island that seems to have everything. Right? It has like hills that look like you're in Scotland. It has clean rivers and streams everywhere. That's like you see in Alaska and other places on TV. You got dense forests that you see like in the Amazon. And it's got big cities as well, and mountain ranges and Alps that you can climb and get killed in, as well as the forests. New Zealand is definitely a unique island, and wouldn't say too much climate change is happening here, but they claim it is. I wish it'd get warmer actually, because I hate winter and I hate snow. If you can Google search properly, you can learn anything. Yep, nowadays you can. Back in nowadays, we didn't have that sort of thing. Hey John, I didn't see you there. Yeah, catch up with the side chat, mate. Yeah, well, I've just got lots of things buzzing around in my head, you know, and people in ufology trying to have a go at me. I'm always amazed when people are amazed. Self-learning just takes a lot of time. Took me 10 hours to learn from the hackers out there. The hackers spend a lot of time and probably ruin a few phones in the process of how to flash various phone types. And it's different for every phone almost. Like my current Sony one, I had to download all these different tools and work out which is the right one to use, and why OK Google wasn't working. It turned out you had to have the latest build, and the phone I got was from India, and obviously they have a URL. There you go. OK Google's kicked in. OK Google, goodbye. See, I've got it working. You can hear it in the background there, talking, because I said the magic word, right? So that didn't work, and when I reflashed it and re-added super user Majestic onto it, and TWRP, TWRP, it's all good. I don't know why they can't just have a recovery like TWRP on there on all phones, and have an option in maybe in this what do you call it, system options. You know how you have to tap on it 7 times on the build type in about box. What they call that? Developers options. Just have a switch says turn on super user. It should be the user's right to have full control of your phone. Why you need it is a lot of applications that you want to use. Like if you want to add on they're trying to get around that by giving you accessibility, but it's limited still. You still need super user right for some of these servers to work. Like if you want to put an FTP server on there, or web server on your phone, and actually use it like a proper computer, you can't without super user rights, which is called root access, or so they say is rooted the phone. So yeah, lots of learning. Why he don't do it, I don't know. I am where do we get to? I see commands online from people asking questions, and I scream at them. My phone, my computer, so Google it. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, a lot of reading, and of course plugging in a USB cable and flashing your phone that you just paid $350 for is makes your heart go crazy. Because that's a lot of money to me. It may not be to the rest of the world for 150 US dollars, but it's still a lot of money to me. And yeah, I need phones that I can get. So I've done a lot of learning and probably wasted a few $100s in the process from mistakes of buying the wrong thing from AliExpress as well as local phone. Finding that they don't offer a unlocking bootloader process. New phones now are encrypted, but they also have built into their ROM chips that they can be locked now, so you can actually re-flash them for security reasons, they say. But at least Sony, you can go to their website, plug in a code or serial number, and it gives you a unlocking code that you can then run through this complicated process of using PC to phone, and then you're in business. But a lot of phones I bought, like LG, don't even offer that on their website anymore, even though they don't sell phones anymore. There's no reason why they can't have a bit of code snippet that obviously generates a password based on the serial number you give them, using some sort of PGP hash security system, right? There's no reason why not all phone companies can offer unlocking service with terms saying that once you do this, you void your warranty, which is fair enough if you want to do it. Should be in the people's hands to decide whether they want to do that or not. And of course Google doesn't like that because they're scared of their Google Pay and all that sort of business, that maybe hackers will get access to root access on the phone and all that sort of business. But really that means you just got to build better programs where if you got root access, they're still not going to be able to break in and steal your bitcoins, right? They're always paranoid. Switzerland wouldn't even allow online banking. I think they may do nowadays, but they were the last ones in the world to offer online bankers because they were paranoid. We used to have a Swiss friend that used to work in computer industry, oddly enough, in advanced encryption side of things, encrypting hard drives for security. So he used to do some really clever stuff, but that's not about UFOs anyway. But like I could do a stream on pretty much anything technical to do with computers that I've learnt, music, whatever, graphics. Eventually someone works out how to with it. Yeah, I leave it all to the guys that got plenty of time to waste on it. I haven't got time to waste on hacking, but I do hardware modding, like I will try and fix things or modify things. You should have seen my early computers. I had all sorts of cables, ribbon cables coming out the side connected to the motherboard, go into the keyboard, so I could actually create a wire up to a joystick and all this sorts of stuff. I even had it wired up to contacts on a old synthesizer I had, so as you press the keys, the contacts would act like a QWERTY keyboard, and that way you could actually record what you're pressing, right, on the synthesizer. And then MIDI come out, and of course you got to remember I was only like 18s to 20-year-old when I was doing those hardware mocking. I had a lot of older people, that were hiring me, used to pop around my house and see what I was doing and say, wow, and you're only a computer operator, you should be doing coding, you should be doing this and that. And I says, yeah, I'm quite happy being a computer operator. It's good money, and it allows me a lot of free time and mind to do this fun stuff on the side. Because once you work in the computer industry coding, you come home certainly burnt out, right? Code hackers, you have burnout. Now you just do code hacking at home and you still have burnout because you want to fix a problem. Sometimes you can't do it. But yes, a lot of people, you've seen my Borg-ware UFO video. It's not UFO video, it's actually showing you my old computer system I was using for streaming, and how I had pretty much opened it up and had a side fan added to it to keep it cool, because the HP ProBook was always overheating. And no matter what I did to it kept going wrong, because it turned out the motherboard had a bad batch of solder mix, where if it got to a certain temperature, it would simply unsolder the chips inside, and we started losing 3D video was the first thing to go, and then the charge circuit on it went, and now eventually, I think eventually stopped using power supply. Now I gave that laptop to JD. I don't know if he's still using it, but I gave him my external chargers that I had bought from AliExpress. They weren't cheap, to charge the battery in it, so you can actually put the battery in it and still use that HP ProBook. I basically took off all the side venting stuff that I added on and gave it to him, and redid it up. Still was good enough. It was working on battery, and then suddenly I come back and found it wasn't working on battery anymore, and it was powered off, and eventually I found if putting battery in, it started using battery again instead of using the side voltage. So I thought, oh yeah, you can get a few hours out of it before you have to swap the battery. I said, well, before it runs out, just swap it with this other spare battery. Just keep one charged all the time, and you can keep it going, especially if you've got 3 of them. So I think he was doing it that way. You get two hours and then all 3 hours out of it, and swap the battery once you got 10 minutes left. But anyway, Mike, you're in the computer industry, you know what I'm talking about, so that's why I'm talking about it, I guess. Yeah, I grew up on the Spectrum. ZX81 was my first computer. It was a glorified calculator, but it's amazing what you could do with it. Z80. I knew how to basically code, machine code straight out my head, using hexadecimal. I could type it all up, and without actually looking at the reference manual, and wrote all this fast machine code to bypass the basic on it and call it from basic. This is the sort of thing Mick West was doing too. He was like obviously from a more privileged family living in America, where he got into creating games, that skateboarder pro thing. But yeah, I was more interested in artificial intelligence, Terminator 2. I actually had this old 8-bit computer. I've actually got a video demonstrating a cut down version that I tried to port across to Sang Coupe, which is the last version of Spectrum pretty much, which had a hard drive and floppy drives, and but it still died off. Allowed you to play the old Spectrum games on it in emulator mode, as well as use the new chip options. So it was like 2 computers in one. But now you could do everything like that on PC with emulators, because they're so damn fast. You got multiple cores. It's amazing what you can do nowadays. People that grew up in my time appreciated computers and learnt computers more deeply than they do nowadays. Nowadays it's all front end assemblers and stuff. So I use AuditIt to create my little executables here. It's a nice little structural basic language with API calls, and it was a lot easier to use than learning C++ and all that sort of other high level languages out there. AuditIt 3 can do some amazing stuff, and of course that's what I use for doing my control panel too, which talks to the web server running on my laptop here, which talks to Minicam. Minicam loads the web page into a layer, So that's why I can do these sort of things, UFO jets. And that tells it to play a video file on a web page, which is using WebM, which is a new format which I had to learn. Makes the background transparent, and you can do animations like that without having to use GIFT. But yeah, so what else is new? I'm not sure if you can do that sort of thing, Mike. I'm not sure how good you are at coding. But yes, a lot of hours and many years of work into learning all this stuff. Didn't we can come up with an error. Right, yeah. Just love errors on computers. It's non-going. Even though I've managed now to set up my Sony phone, I boot to TWRP, and I usually use the backup there to back up the phones because it's been so handy when you start to get memory problems on Android boxes. If you root them and stick the recovery on there, you can back up them, and then when it goes wrong you can then restore from the image where you had it all set up instead of using factory default setting, which is useless. And then you get all the original programs that were working from that image. And you can do an update on them if you need to, on Google Update after that point, or if you keep a really current backup, you don't need to do that. But yeah, it's a great recovery option that gives you all the tools you need to fix broken phones or Google TV boxes. Still got that little niggle in the throat. I'll just minimize that out of the way. My subs have been very slow. Seem to be holding there on the alt media side of things. Well, Google, if I don't keep create new shows and generate new subs all the time, it actually starts going backwards. As you can see there, I got up to 2527 only a month ago, and now it's back down to 2513. So I'm not too sure what Google wants to do with my channel, but they're just like every time I upload a new show, I lose 2 subs. At least 1 sub. It may not happen right away. It will start to roll out 3 days later and just take away subs. Yeah. Hey Randy, how's it going? You're listening to The Life of Paul. I've been putting up some pictures of Charlie lately, and some people have enjoyed it anyway. So I have been trying to keep my channel active that way while I've been working on these other projects. At the moment I've got to modify my side of my table here, because I've got a whole rack of USB drives, and I got it all hanging together with cable ties and tape that didn't work. It all fell to bits. I'm never going to use tape again. Cable ties worked quite well, but I've ordered this shoe rack. You know, the Chinese have little tiny feet on them apparently. This shoe rack just fits on the side tray where the desktop computer's meant to go on this table. So hopefully the measurements are right, and it should slide in there and give me like 4 shelves, act like a shelf system where I can stick all the USB drives for backup there, because I actually have a RAID server, but they say keep copies of your most important stuff also on USB drives, which I have done. And so I need to tidy that up. So that's another project. Plus I bought some perspex from AliExpress for a backboard for it, because it hasn't actually got enough stuff. It's really cheaply made, but it cost me like 800 New Zealand dollars to have it shipped over, because no one in New Zealand makes them for overtop beds. Very hard to get in New Zealand. I don't know, New Zealand's like that though. we're way behind the rest of the world in that respect. Listening while making dinner. Yeah, well, at least I'm not a one-trick pony. At least I can actually talk about most things, you know, especially complex things. Emote says, wash your hands. What raid array are you using? I've read up all about the raids and not actually really good anymore. I reckon you need to go raid 10, is it? Even higher, where you have like 4 drives as can go wrong at any time. So my box only goes up to it's only still got only 5 slots in it. Is it 5 or is it 4? 4 slots in it, and so I got 4 8 terabytes in it. So I lose 1 drive, so I get 24 terabytes in it rated, which is quite good compared to what we had a few years ago. I'll double it in size every 3 years when it keeps telling me these drives are getting older, but I've not had any serious failures, touch wood. It's not used in like a big office. It's sort of used for really good backups. But I'm using RAID 5. Is it 5 still? Yeah, I think it's still 5. So, yeah, it's not particularly safe, but with 4 drives it's okay, right? I just don't trust these big drives, you know. Now the problems that we used to have with some of the early USB drives lasting only a few months and then they go wrong. But I think maybe they got this sorted out now, I'm not too sure. But I'd like to get solid state drives. That's got to be the future of RAID systems, really. And apparently they've got 128 terabyte solid state drives that cost $30,000 US, which I guess Google can easily have, and Elon Musk and all that. But if you could buy 4 of those and a RAID server, yeah, the world's the limit, really. It's amazing. Not sure what the best one is, really. But when you get these bigger towers with 12 slots in it, then obviously you're going to have to go up to RAID 10 or whatever scheme that's coming out next in the RAID thing. I haven't been keeping up with it all. But anyway, I suppose we should really start talking about ufology. So let's kick it off with a comment from the person that is creating the most noise in ufology, and that's Goofon. Alright, so I just read this morning from him. Right, I'm not logged in. Ah, damn. Let's see, be on the replies, won't it? Let's have a look. It's easy to go to notifications, isn't it? I haven't blocked him yet. He's probably deleted it. Actually, he should have been here on the replies, shouldn't he? Right. Login, wall, removal. That's like, MacWest. He should have been on the replies. So I must. He's not. I've not blocked it. So why can't I see him at the top? Hang on. Twitter up to something now. So Elon Musk looks like he's let us all down. That needed him to force the censorship agenda and cause a change through ufology, right? As well as online. So yeah, so obviously a few things. He would have answered this one here, which I was going to talk about today. What the fuck? UFON still has no clue. I'll be on this one, I betcha. One reply. No, he hasn't said anything. No, he has to have. Oh, there he is. I told you. Why didn't that show up, though, in the replies? What the fuck? Still has no clue on these very old cases. Cases it should be. Again, clear how much you guys find out from me years ahead of this clown. All helicopters, some China, some Aussie, search and rescue on long exposure or cops crowd control. You may record these ones that I've done in the past. So that one was in Australia there with the blue lights. Was a search and rescue on a beach. These other ones, I think, were all China. All long exposure again with search helicopters, crowd control. And of course, UFON didn't like that post. See, unlike him, he will do character attacks. Me, I just expose their weaknesses in ufology. Hey, Polly, I'm so glad we are friends again. I'm going to tell everyone the great news. UFON and Out There channel are on the same page. Nice to know it was bothering you too that we haven't collaborated. When do you want to come on? He said I was friends with him. I think he's just being sarcastic there. Like I said, he's hit and miss. I haven't said I've thrown him under the bus, but he is. I was way on the cutting edge of things over him. You know, even Scott Brando has been debunking these ones for years as well. So I doubt if he'll mention me, because that will bring people over to my channel to see what. Oh, right, who's this channel? You know, people don't hear about me, you see. Because, you know, all those grifters are all sort of working together now. You got Joss and Artemis zooming up fast because they're working with all these top fraud channels. Frauds that promote frauds, right? How many times do I have to keep showing you why third phase of the moon are still hoaxing? But I'll keep doing what I can. So this is what he said to this one here. Well, we've actually mentioned him. I'll just play that clip from his show. And you can see he hasn't got a clue about it. He said they were fake. They're not very good. I think they're fake, you know, but that doesn't help anybody. You know, it's like Lionsground saying Stan Romanek faked all his videos and photographs, but doesn't actually prove it. You know, this is where you become a fake debunker, as UFOn says. So he's right in that respect, that these debunkers make the claims, but if you don't show where the claims are, you become fake news in that respect. You know, if I say something's fake, I actually show you. I actually will show you on filters or glitches in the video or known camera artifacts, right? I will show you and teach you how I learnt myself. So I can learn it and then I can teach it, because I come from a teaching environment. So yeah, let's just play this. Let's see if it's loud enough.
But I believe
His
The
volume's been
one
really low
that
lately.
one of these pics goes to China was way back like 10 years ago. But I think all of these are fake. I could be wrong. I don't know. But there's just something off about them. Hey, they were on the news showing this. See, yeah, right here. I remember when it came out.
That not only were they on the news, we had Nick Pope that had no clue about it, and he was saying no one knows what this UFO is. And you also had lots of different documentaries, UFO documentaries, also claiming them to be motherships with beam ships. Beam ships of Billy Mine. You know what beam stands for, don't you? Beam. It's his initials of his name. Billy Edward something Myers. Beam ships. It's actually his initials. Wasn't to do with the beams coming down. So yes, there's a lot of things you find out in ufology, and the frauds eventually get found out. So there you go. He hasn't got a clue about these really old cases, and that's my point. And he shows stuff that I've covered years and years ago. So yeah, he could learn a lot off me if he just watched my stuff. Today wasn't actually prepped by any chance, so I've got some links there, but I was just going to wing it. That's why I'm doing a lot of talking. Speaking my peace of mind, as they say. It's called a rant. Some people. So what we got here? iWalks. You are everything it breaks down in front of you. Pulled into the void. Well, I don't know about that. But yes, this is why we're in this field, trying to piece it together and understand it, right? And paranormal, what's that about, I have been collecting videos. I've still got to go through all my evidence where the light comes on, and some days it doesn't come on for days, and then it comes on again. So yeah, is it a fault? I don't know. Is it paranormal that's triggering it? I don't know. It could be either or. But if I was a debunker, then I would simply rule it out as one thing without any really hard proof. So at this stage, I know they can't turn on light switches that much. But I've had some other stuff been going crazy here. As I set up all these IP cameras, just some days that one camera would be on a different angle. It would be pointing upwards instead of looking forwards. It's like they don't like me having cameras around the house. And it's been happening every week now that I've set it up. There'd be something that goes wrong, like the hallway fish light would start to act up, like the picture would get corrupted, or wasn't sending string data to the NVR, because I've got it recorded 24/7 now. So I just have to switch it off at the wall and on again to reset it. And because that's in the ceiling, right, and in the hallway. I've got these sensor lights that turn on the light instead. So as you walk along, the lights turn on. LEDs, it's probably saved a lot of power, and we can use that power for heating and cooling instead. Yeah, so I got one in the bedroom that overlooks the backyard now. I'm not sure if I can bring it up and show you, but yeah, they're old cameras that I'm still using. I might replace them because the IP cameras are a lot better now, and the Sony chip can see through glass window, which is quite amazing. I posted some images up online showing the color night vision for outside and through the door. I couldn't do that with the old cameras. The active infrared would light up the LEDs and reflect off the window back at the camera, and that's all you'd see. But the new Sony chips, you can turn all those LEDs off, and it can see straight through tinted window, even though it's going to be very dark. If you get sensor lights that turn on outside, which is a good thing to do, and then the camera will capture it all in full, higher than 1080p quality, which is good. So I'm quite happy with that, but it's been a lot of learning experience, and this camera I've got in the bedroom for capturing ghosts is just a hack job, Chinese firmware nonsense. One day I might just take a chance and try to reflash it with some hack software out there and actually make it into a proper camera that you can access over your own LAN without them having back doors into it. But at this stage I don't want to destroy it completely. But it's not sending off alerts anymore. I think it's because you don't buy their cloud service. They gradually drop off all the features working until you buy, and then they turn it back on. I don't like Chinese and how they control the world, censorship, and try to influence Google and us, and even doing business with them is just hopeless. I still haven't managed to be able to communicate with the sellers since I posted a URL to a how-to site to this. So that seller, it stops me communicating at all on the message system. It's like they probably got some government employee that looks through all the messages in real time, and then because I mentioned Discord in the comments, and all those comments vanished and the links vanished. What I'd said to the guy, they had no reason for us not to be able to do remote sharing of the screens and showing the errors with their product, because it's just totally hopeless, and then in the end I just put a dispute in and said, look, their firmware's got all these bugs and here it is. I did that video, right? And they agreed with me, and they gave me $40 refund, which was the price of one of the cameras. So I had to buy a replacement so I could actually record onto it. But yeah, got to be careful of the new format being fully compliant, because we're trying to capture UFO evidence, right, with these cameras, and we're trying to control it remotely instead of having to be outside in the bad temperature or whatever, too hot or too cold or whatever, and have the camera pod outside doing the monitoring remotely and doing streams with it and all that sort of stuff. So I'm doing really complex stuff, but I want to capture the evidence for you, especially on the paranormal side of things. Like, see if a door opens up. Now, while I was setting up one of the cameras, obviously I haven't got the evidence, else I'll be showing it to you. But this orb just come from the ceiling all the way down and flew over my mum's head where she sits normally, because she's always complaining that there's a coldness in the room, and it's like 27 degrees Celsius, and it's like I call it the Queensland room, where they got the aircon on so hot that it's ridiculous power consumption. But this thing, and I wanted to go back and check it, but this camera that I had set up, because I was just repurposing it, has a really good detection on it, and email server on it, so you can send off email alerts, and it was sending off email alerts with 5 snapshots, and it works really good, but it's only like 480p and it has night vision. It's mostly black and white. It's not really good at all. It's not like the Sony chips that you got now, but I saw this orb on it and it was clear as day, because when it streams it in proper 30 frames a second, but when it detects motion, it can't actually record the video, and it only limits you to one snapshot every second. So obviously this thing moved across from the ceiling over top of Mum within a 1 second, and I saw it on screen when I was trying to adjust the angle. And so I went through the images and found 0 images of this orb. Then I've realized that it actually compresses the JPEGs that it sends to 70%, and that would probably be enough on 480p to lose this transparent orb that was showing up. But I thought that was amazing evidence, and I haven't got a video of it. And I said to Mum, have you seen any moths or bugs in the room? She says no. And I said, yeah, I don't think it's dust, because dust would normally rise up. This was coming certainly down from the ceiling and changing angle, just like you see on these UFO videos where they're turning at 90 degrees sort of thing. And yeah, I just ain't got the evidence to show you. Just another story, of course, right? But you never know. Eventually we might get something happen, and I might capture it, but then the cameras might change angle. You know, I think you've seen on Ghost Hunters where the cameras get knocked over or the angle suddenly changes. So, you know, I've always thought they were hoax and stuff, but when you start experiencing the same things as missing images or corrupted images or batteries running low, this is what I'm experiencing. So, yeah, we need more people doing investigations like me and actually trying to document it. But apart from that, I can't really show you much. I might try and do a show tomorrow morning if I get time. A Skinwalker Ranch needs to be reviewed, the last one. They're firing off rockets and it went off course, and then they captured this bright object, which I think still could be some sort of satellite, maybe. I need to analyze it. But yeah, I've got all these recordings to go through. This is how it creates the folders onto the camera, the cheap one in the bedroom, which hasn't got any. It has a backdoor of FTP server, so I download them of the light coming on. So I need to go through those. Mum's starting to believe. I've started showing her the videos with the sound and then singing the orb, and I said, well, what do you think? And she's noticed stuff around the house too. We've had this ornament. It's like my sister's boys bought this thing from China when he was doing his big OE, and one of them disappeared. And we've not found it. I said, maybe one of the grandkids grabbed it, Mum, and put it on a chair, and it's gone down the back of a chair or something. I said, that's the only thing I can think of. Or a ghost has taken it and hidden it. So yeah, I don't know. It's a strange mystery, that one. We used to have kids muck around with turning around stuff. But we used to blame the kids, and the kids used to say, oh no, it's not me, something's doing it. So whether it's true or not, I don't know whether they're telling lies or not, but kids don't want to get in trouble, you see. We had no cameras in the toilet to see these things on the window, turning to face the window. Normally, I don't know, I call them dust collectors, but Mum would put them around all these things around the windows and stuff. But it's not the first time stuff has gone missing and then suddenly shown up elsewhere. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I've talked about the early days of my sister's paranormal experiences, where she would have toys that were broken, electronic toys that were actually powered up and flashing lights and spinning around. And as soon as she opened the box, it certainly stopped, and then she would pick it up and try to put batteries in and turn it on and all this, and it wouldn't work. So that would have been really good to have on video. Filming it on a phone as they opened up the box to see it spinning around, right? People would say it was faked probably or something, but yeah, you just have to believe her, you know. We had shared homestays that said the pot plant lifted off the stand and dropped and smashed, and it wasn't them. His sister didn't believe it at first, but she doesn't really know whether they kicked it and said it was a blame it on the ghost. But then they saw this man in a hat, and she saw him too walk across the lounge and disappear. So she used to have all this, and then she come to stay at our place, and they seem to have got attached to me now. So yeah, I don't know. But we did have that guy commit suicide, so it's all sort of connected, maybe. Me talking about it now, there's a cold spot here. Right around my feet. It's like if I move them, that cold spot's gone. So they're probably listening, and they're probably going to muck around with my light later on again tomorrow, probably. People probably think I'm crazy and stuff, but yeah, unless you live here. He wants to come and stay in the haunted house. New Zealand holiday. I tell you what, you just can't predict when things are going to happen, though. It's all random. And there doesn't seem to be any pattern to it. So if someone did come and stay, probably it'd be just like normal. And then when they leave, it all starts up again. So yeah. New Zealand sky watching, that's another project I'm still working on, trying to get the power cable to the new phone that I set up for it. So it'll come together, but at the moment, apart from today, the weather hasn't been terribly great for doing a test run again. So I've got to get into that. So yeah. So let's delve into it. So what do we got here? Yeah, Finn's put up some interesting stuff. I think it might be Finn. And I'll just play a few clips from his channel. UFO hoaxing with Blender using NASA footage. So yeah, I looked at this and I thought, nah, it's a lot easier way to do this.
So this is the video we're discussing.
Terrible hum there on the audio.
I think it's a hoax. Several
I'm not sure if it's on the video or his end at the moment.
other people do, but
there's a little white dot there. Apparently it's moving in orbit, but who's to know that's not some Russian or Chinese rocket or secret launch or whatever, you know. Anyway, but he's saying it's a hoax.
I think the guy that made it.
I think there must have been the original source of the International Space Station, and it wasn't there, probably. How they prove it is a fake.
If my memory is correct, actually deleted all of his hoaxes.
Okay, so to do this, as I pointed out, it's so easy to do. You could do like I'm doing here with the mouse cursor. You see how I got this customized mouse cursor? I could turn that into anything I wanted to, like a little flying UFO or whatever, or any size I wanted to, and just have it move around. So I could just move it across like this, you know, UFO, 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 and just record it with Minicam, screen capture software, right? So you just play the feed of NASA, change your mouse cursor, and actually simulate anything you wanted to with the mouse. That's how I'd do it. It's plain and simple. But he's saying that this is CGI added, and that's a more complicated process, obviously. So yeah, he goes through it on this, which I'll post a link to it if you want to watch how he does it in Blender.
You can get for free from blender.org. And so I just screen recorded a video of the International Space Station. It's a live stream. I think the video channel is called Space Videos, and so a friend hooked me up with a link to that, and I just recorded it playing for a bit.
Okay, it sounds like it's his mic that's got a hum on it.
On my screen.
That's why I got away from analog mics for your laptop, because it suffers that sort of nonsense. Go with digital and you don't have that anymore.
And then with Blender you just drag the video into Blender, and now it is here inside a 3D space. So then you just grab your camera, pop it in front of the screen, set the resolution of your camera so that it matches the resolution of the video, and now you've basically got the video playing in 3D space. So what I did was I then created a ball in front of the screen, and
Yeah, so then it goes through the whole process.
Stop for a bit, I'm not sure. And we can actually drag through.
Because you can do that with any other software like Adobe, also Vegas Pro. You could just have a live feed playing on one video channel, and the other video channel overlays on top, and you just move a UFO or whatever on top. So that's another way you can do it as well. I think this doing CGI is probably one of the hardest and probably not the most practical way in doing it if you're going to hoax something. So Finn shows how to use Blender. Maybe you shouldn't be showing people, because then there'll be people out there like frauds using it to create more noise. Okay, I'll just close that down. And he's now used Blender, which he's actually spent a bit of time getting photographs from the actual area and using that as materials to actually show the real brick wall and all that sort of business. Finding some tricks they can use where they can take a image and turn into a 3D house in a state. So the software is getting cleverer and more clever.
Check this out. This is why it's so exciting to have Blender as a UFO witness. This is a model of the area surrounding my sister's house. This is my sister's house, and thanks to the beauty that is Blender, look at this. It's almost like we're actually hovering above the estate next to my sister's house. So if we come down out of the sky, I got all the measurements off Google. I took photos of the wall as I actually walked to my sister's house. So this is an exact recreation of the wall that runs along this pavement next to my sister's house. And I actually got a photo of this house on the street, and I got a photo of that brick wall that's next to the house, and I recreated it all in Blender. That sign with the hump on it, there is actually a sign with a hump on it right there on that road. But I downloaded that graphic of a hump off the internet, and then we got some bungalows on the right. I downloaded them off a website, but they're just pretty much identical to the bungalows that are on this stretch of road. And as I got to about here, there are some big trees. The problem with my computer is there's not quite fast enough.
So that's always the problem with computers, they're never fast enough. Especially if you want to stream it live. So yeah, I'll just skim through it here.
And my sister's house is right here. Okay.
So it's showing the UFO spiraling down like a DNA call above a housing estate near his sister's house. So I wonder if someone got abducted there.
It's the left. These are two houses, and it's the leftmost of these two houses. So I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to just park in the middle of the road. I might as well just park in my sister's car park outside the front of her house. So by the time I'm about here and I'm turning right to go to my sister's house, these orbs have got to just above the rooftops. So as I turn right to go behind this house, I lose sight of them. Okay. So they're really low above the rooftops of this housing estate. There are several hundred houses in this housing estate here where my mouse is. And I've lost sight of these orbs because I'm turning right, okay, and I'm thinking, right, I need to park in this car park, get out, have a look. Okay. So essentially, I
think you probably need to watch that fully on your own screens. So where was the bit where it was actually taking a picture of a satellite view and turn it into a 3D model? Maybe I skimmed over it. Didn't actually see where he did that bit. Oh, so I'm going to click the wrong thing now. Don't you just hate that? Right, it's opened up something, has it? Yeah, I don't see where that bit was. So that's the UFOs coming down. Pretty sure it was in this one. Go and sub to him, say I sent you there. He'd be really happy that he's getting more people watching. There's a lot of good people out there in the field. I'm pretty sure I had the Google image there and it converted to a 3D model for you, which is kind of clever. But anyway, see if you can find it. Finn's, instead of hand drawing, he's now doing it in 3D, like a TV show. Yeah, I don't know much about Blender. I haven't mucked around with it. I haven't got the time really to learn something new every damn month. Just got enough on the go as it is. CGI Blender of his sighting. So that was one of his first sightings before we saw the TR3B one later on. Same day I think it was. Now, he was thinking about UFOs at the time when he saw it, so he thinks it's like C5, like Greer, but I think maybe it might be that there's a history of UFOs in his family, because he talked about, didn't he say his mother? Also talking about him in her life, so maybe it's connected, you know. And that's why we're in this field, to try and figure it all out, rather than write off everything as explainable. We've got to keep an open mind, keep the open mind open, rather than become confirmation bias. Alright, unless you can prove something 100% was faked, you can. If you say something is fake and you haven't got the proof, then that just makes you fake noise, fake news. So yeah, if you're going to be a truther, don't do that. If you're going to be a debunker, don't do that. If you haven't got the solid proof, don't do that. You can actually leave it open, say I think it's one of these three things, till more information comes in. But you can't say write it off completely as not a UFO, of course. Sometimes it's like fourth at the bottom of the list, you know, but that sort of means there's a lot more evidence for the other things over the UFOs, right? So you do it that way. I think Mick West does it that way too, but doesn't seem to always seem that way. But I think he's too much of a skeptic, and I think he needs to maybe experience some of the stuff that's out there. I think it's possible. I think it's possible to go to a haunted house or a haunted location and experience the same things as other people have. I know my sister's kids have done that, and they've gone to a haunted house, allegedly, that's been abandoned, and they start hearing footsteps above when they know it's completely empty. So that sort of stuff, you know, you got to try and explain it away scientifically, right? Whether it's been somehow recorded in the materials of the house and it plays back, and how's it doing it. They know that there was some early experiments with some scientists that said infrasound had something to do with sensing that you're being watched, and cold spots and all that. I don't believe mine's infrasound, the cold spots. So yeah, I think it's a bit more going on, but I think you can explain quite a lot of things away with science and infrasound. Though, but not everything. And what's this last one on Finn? I think it is still. What's this one? Lens flare. Okay, so he's explaining how you can actually take a photograph and you can draw a cross between corner to corner of the photograph. And you can then take the midpoint and measure it and then flip it to prove that it's actually coming from a light source. So I thought that would be quite a good demonstration here.
And our line.
So I just skimmed quite a lot of it here as he's doing it. So you got is it the moon or the sun there behind the clouds? And it creates this little dot further down, which he's saying is lens flare, and you can prove it by drawing those to the corners of the photograph and measuring it wherever it's down here, then flip it and see if that dot matches up with the thing. It's all to do with symmetry of lenses and all that sort of business.
Goes almost exactly through the middle, as expected. One commenter said, if it was lens flare caused by the part of the moon that's sticking out from behind the cloud,
okay, it's a moon.
The lens flare is too diffuse. I completely disagree. Because the moon is partially behind a cloud, we should expect a slightly diffuse lens flare. If it was a perfectly revealed street light, for instance, causing the lens flare, then we'd expect, yes, a sharper edge to the lens flare, because it would be reflecting the sharp edge of the light bulb. But the moon is behind the clouds, or partially behind the clouds, which is diffused.
So the lens flare isn't going to be as bright as what he's saying there. So there's the full photograph with his lines added, and the lens flare is down the bottom here. So yeah, I'll post a link to that so you can watch the full explanation. I thought it would be good to just show you what's out
The
there.
lens flare. You test for lens flare.
So can we see the orb? No, we can't. See, it's very small. He hasn't zoomed in like I'm doing here. See, there's what they're saying is a UFO, and he said, nah, there's a bright light source there, and you can prove it's a lens flare. So using that sort of geometry of lenses and drawing on the picture itself, and you can prove otherwise. So how to verify lens flare. So I've not actually covered that before, but why repeat what he said when we can just use it? Although he's got a terrible hum on his audio, as you can hear. So yeah, something there to learn. UFOstalker, I haven't managed to find a way around this of opening up, right click to open up in a new window still. I'll just reload that just to check. I did post him a message on his forum. Yeah, he won't like me though because I'm criticizing it. I posted here on where he claims that the new improvements, or the site is back 100 with 100k new sighting reports. I posted on that one instead. I don't know if he's answered it. Probably not. Probably at the beginning, at the bottom here. See, no reply. So I said to here, how about making the search feature results page open in new tab, the case, instead of the same window. As you click back, it reloads and back to page 1. So I've posted that there. Don't think you'll pay any attention to it. So what I'm saying is, if you click on here, if you choose page 5, if you saw me mucking around with it last time, we've got some photographs here on this one here. So click on that one, you can see it opens up in the same window instead of opening it up in a new tab. And it reckons there's some photographs, and that don't work. Some of them work and some of them are not. So yeah, 100k of new stuff added. Yeah, right. that looks pretty current for this year. Last year, not that long ago, and we can't even view the graphic on it still. So it's the sort of guy, if I was hiring, he would be sacked if he didn't get his act together. And now if I go back, you'll see what happens. It reloads the page back to page 1. So you lose where you were. So what I want is to stay on that page 1.5. So when I close down the other tab, I can just come back to this window and look at the next case number. I said also, could you make it so you could search on images, since you got rid of that nice album feature icon up here, where you'd only show cases with videos and photographs uploaded. They took it away because there's just too much CPU hog on their web server. Too much resource hog. So yeah, Mike, I'm not sure what you think about that coding of UFOstalker now, but it's still shite, and it's worse than it ever was. At least we found workarounds on a lot of the stuff, and some of the features of that album page was really handy for doing what I do. So basically they've made it useless to the public because they don't even show the images, so it's still down, isn't it? Hey Mr. G, thanks for joining us. I'm just talking about random things, not really organised at all, but people will obviously like what I have to say about certain things and what I have found to show them. So let's see, let's have a look at third phase next. I think they've got something up, but I haven't looked at it. I've been too busy. So we were last left off there, obviously. So UFO or Space Force, yeah. And then we got biological, paranormal, UFO. All these clickbait titles. Black Knight satellite cover-up. Bollocks. They're still on about the Black Knight. Anyone that talks about the Black Knight is obviously a shill. That's all I can say. So let's start with the first one and work towards that one, shall we? I'm hoping to maybe analyze my ghost stuff, my videos for a show tomorrow, but depends how much time I got tonight. I also want to do still reviews of stupid movies and UFO documentaries, out there that people are trying to sell to make money off, and I also want to look at Skinwalker Rant's review and have a look at their so-called new video claim, UFO claim, So third phase, here we go.
You joining us, so let's roll the first video from the skies right now. Take a look at this.
Oh, that's louder than normal, isn't it? I amped up the volume. Let me just take control of that. There we go. That'll do. So is it just going to play music so we can't hear the people talking on the videos? Is it? So what do we got here? What's that? A sun setting or a moon rising, and a dot or two dots in the sky. Yeah, I just don't like the music there. I'll just mute that for the time being. Right, is that a street light? Is that off a street light there? Yeah, it might be a street light, not sun. Okay, so I think we're looking at this up here. And it kind of looks like illumination flares being dropped again, doesn't it? All skydivers with flares, is it? Let's have a look. Because when flares do go out, it looks like there was a smoke trail there, wasn't there? Look how small it is. It's ridiculous, really. You ain't going to get much information from it. So they started talking yet, or are they still playing their crazy music?
See some kind of lights that start to form in a disc-shaped object, but we're having a hard time making out structure. But the luminant.
Welcome to the comedy channel of UFOs, third phase of the thing.
Behind these lights are...
Okay, so, you know, we just don't know how much CGI they get. To me, that doesn't suggest any UFO or shape to me. That looks like the independent lights. Let's just zoom in more. Can't see anything between. Looks like illumination flares on parachutes. To me, I wonder if we can run it through some filters on the actual channel. Where's that thing? There. Brightness. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Saturation. Whoa. Could turn that right down. Make it black and white. Invert. It's kind of handy, that plugin. Contrast. And let's have a look. Okay, so look, you can see now looking at that, you can see all the smoke around it, right? Definitely illumination flares, right? If it was a cloud, wouldn't we see a cloud? Looks like it's all smoke trail to me. If it's a cloud, it will illuminate more of it, I would say. Let's play it from there.
Are quite astonishing, especially in this part when it starts to...
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, you can see like the smoke vapor thing coming off it there, right?
flare. Is this some kind of rocket, or is this something otherworldly?
It's really worldly. A load of crap. Okay, let's reset it again.
Guys, I want to get your opinions. What do you think was captured in the sky? The phenomenon is real. Thousands of people.
Okay, so 4th of July. Could it be fireworks? Yeah, Blake. I wonder. We're really wondering this one. This one's really hard.
People are here celebrating 4th of July, but they're keeping their eyes on the skies tonight because we got some major
Of course, they're looking at fireworks, you dope.
fireworks. But we've got some new UFO videos just into 3rd phase.
New videos. They're meant to be getting thousands of backlog that they're working through. Caught out in the lies all the time.
So let's roll the next video right now. Take a look at this.
Alright, let's have an initial look. What do you reckon, guys? Okay, it looks like it's just a photograph. Better quality normally than what you get on video frame. Looks like a photograph. So to me, straight away, that looks like one of those black kites, right? Just can't see the string. Could even be an RC kite without the string. So it's getting really, really more complicated than ufology. So it looks like could be a bird kite. Let's see, bird black kite. Well, it could be one that represents like a bomber plane, like a B-2. Let's see, we're looking from it from behind, aren't we? So It could be a bird, but I don't think so. I think it's definitely looking like a kite from behind. So bird is in the list there, but kite is at the top of the list at the moment, and UFO is right at the bottom. What could it be? So kite obviously is the name of a bird. So that makes it a bit more complicated, doesn't it? So what can we say to get rid of that on Google? Not sure. How can we get around that bird of prey? Maybe just put in black kites. Let's see what comes up. Makes it a bit harder, doesn't it? When you got kite with multiple meanings. Okay. Black kites. Black kites. Must be something you can add to that. So Google doesn't see it as a bird. Minus bird, maybe. Oh, if I spell it right. Minus bird, will that work? Sort of improved it, but not terribly much. What else can we try? Minus bird didn't work. I thought they meant to be clever search engine. Needs a bit more AI added to it, obviously, in the English. Let's try lead kites. That's going to eliminate it, surely. No? Let's see. Man-made kite. Man-made. No. Black kites. Man-made. No, it can't win. Never used to be a problem, did it? I used to type it in and it used to come up. RC maybe. Okay, these ones might be kites. Okay, there's an eagle one. So it's July the 4th. Flying a black kite of an eagle. Sure, why not? It's possible. Definitely doesn't look like a B plane, bomber, a stealth plane. But yeah, what happened there? We didn't used to get kite coming up as bird. Looks like they've changed something, haven't they? Let's try RC kite B2. And that's still not too bad, but not that great. Okay, there's a B2 type one. What's that one there? There's one. Looks similar to that one there. I just grab that one. Okay, we need to rotate it if we can. Aha. That's like the B2 plane rather than kite, is it? Remote control stealth bomber. There's another one. That's not a kite. What else we got? Just looking at the wings here, the edge of this here, to what we've seen in the picture. It's a bit hard to tell, there's not enough quality there. Kind of looks the same though, doesn't it? It looks very similar. Seems to have like a mass underneath, like a... if it's flying upside down. See, they've got propellers there for driving it around. On that angle there, you wouldn't see those propellers. You wouldn't see the propellers that's pushing it along. I still think it's a kite. It could be an Australian, it could be an RC one like that. But yeah, the search has changed. Changed the search engine. So we're not getting much up. Used to be able to type in LED kite. Yeah, used to this give ups. Maybe if you type kites, maybe. LED kite. Oh, that's still coming up normal. I suppose you don't get LEDs on a kite bird. But yeah, I don't think we'll find the one we're after with LEDs on it. We could try bird kites. Maybe that would. Aha, that sort of worked better, didn't it? Put S on the end. So we've got all these different bird kites, and none of them fit the picture better than the B2 type kites. From what I'm looking there anyway. Apart from maybe that one there. Firebird, Phoenix. Okay. That worked a bit better. Okay. So we don't need to muck around too much on that one. Let's see what they're going to say anyway. Just minimize that again a wee bit. I'm playing a lot of music, right? To make it more copyright protected, I guess. Or try and just stuff you up in the process. You know how finicky they are with music and videos nowadays. Still no talking. Can't they be bothered talking nowadays? Where's their comedy routine? What do you think, Brent? Oh yeah, it's one of the best videos I've seen to this year. This month, I should say. He's got to change it slightly, isn't he? Usual garbage. Blurfo. Best quality videos of UFOs that we get nowadays.
Sometimes best to get a photograph, and as we're looking at this craft, once again, it is unlike any kind of asset that we know of. Is this some kind of new hypersonic drone or some kind of aircraft in the Space Force? This is what we're trying to find out. If anybody...
Oh yeah, this just goes straight into the deep end and not actually think of it as a logical person.
has any military aerospace background and could identify this craft, we'd sure like to hear it. This was captured over Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, close to a military airbase out there. But again, this is something that is quite unusual. Any thoughts here, Brent? Yeah, this one's pretty wild. It almost looks like the stealth bomber, but it isn't. We're looking at this thing, and it's something unusual, nothing that we've seen in our military assets. What is this? I like the way the photograph actually captures it above the treetops. It gives scale and size.
It's far away from the tree. It's optical illusion, guys. It's not above the tree at all. It's probably actually super high up. It's just this optical illusion because you're on the ground filming upwards. There's no, you can't tell the size of that from that photograph, right? To me, that just looks like a small RC plane. I see kite on a string, even is possible, and someone's just snapped it and forward that sent it into third phase of the moon just for a laugh.
Eyes to whatever this object is. Now we get a close-up. We're zooming in.
I won't even put that on a UFO channel because it looks like something that's got wings on, which is generally related to mankind or something in nature, right? Doesn't even look like a TR-3B claims. So was it even on a UFO channel?
And again, and I'm rolling out Photoshop. What we're seeing here is a real deal. Everything matches. The big question is, what is this thing?
Yeah, it matches, I think, quality of the pixels. And you can see it's not a solid black. It definitely looks like a fabric, you know, with the sun shining on it. It definitely looks like a photograph rather than a video, and we haven't got sort of haven't got motion blur, so that tells me that it's not moving very fast, if at all. It's probably on a string hovering, probably.
Absolutely. I know Space Force has been implemented for years now. Are they starting to roll out their new aerospace craft? Again, is this hypersonic or is it supersonic? Have they mastered this kind of flight?
Okay, so this is adding this stupid script over top of it, right? And someone loves it. $2! Looks like a Klingon ship. At least they won't ban you. Because you donated. What have we got here now?
Alright, I like this
He likes this one too. He likes every video he puts up.
video. It lasts for some time.
I think it's another crappy spud cam type video of a blurry dot. I guess that's what we're looking at. That there is one of the great videos of all time. Okay, let's just keep it going.
I like it when people, the public like you, when you're seeing something
Okay, it's inside a car. They got the window round down.
strange in the sky, you continue to film as long
Doesn't mean they ain't got something on a string here dangling off the side of the car, right? It doesn't mean, or someone flying a kite.
as you can. Right now, the person pulled over, noticed something in the sky shooting out the window. And again, it's hard to make out exactly what it is, but we've seen this video, and we're going to be getting into some clarity as
Is that the same tree as the last photograph? Could it be the same object?
we look at
Because they haven't made that
real-time
distinction,
watch.
have they?
It appears as the person stepped out of the car to get a cleaner shot, trying to focus on whatever this object is in the sky. I'm going to have to roll out a balloon, or
I got a feeling that other photograph is what we're seeing.
possibly it's having some kind
I don't know. Let's keep on going.
of drone.
Don't know.
Similarities.
Something doesn't look quite right with this video, does it? The trees are out of focus, and yet that seemed to be in focus. Okay, just have a look at that tree edge there. Memorize it.
Actually captures it above the treetop. Lockheed Martin's working on. I like it. Trying to focus on whatever this object is in the sky.
It's a bit blurry.
I'm gonna have to roll out a balloon.
There's also a bug at the moment, but what's that triangle shape to it though?
Or possibly it's having some kind of drone.
Terrible footage, isn't it? See, it's over top of the thing, but there could be rolling shutter that's doing that. Let's keep an eye on it. Could be a forgery.
Similarity
Seemed to drop very fast then.
is here, but I failed to see any kind of prop.
But it might be moving through the sky horizontally and it looks like it's going down.
Propellers.
Same quality. Oh, over there. My CPU playing up, is it? Men in Black are going to interrupt my show, I guess.
This is disc shaped.
I'd say it's triangle shape. Looks like a triangle. It looks like the other image, doesn't it? It's looking like a kite. Could be that same one we were looking at before. Different angle, you see. See that there?
Now he's pulling in much, much closer, and you can see it's almost translucent. Almost biological in nature. Is it a life form?
Bouncing around a lot for CGI.
I'm just throwing it out there. A lot of people think that some of these UFOs, these UAPs, possibly could be
There's a bug that flew past then. Okay, so where is it here? Okay, that's a different tree, isn't it? Don't know, it's the same tree.
biological in nature, but
Where is it in this picture then?
again,
It's got to be that blurriness over there. There. It's way from the tree now, but I don't think that's the same tree, is it? It's a bit hard to tell.
I like the way the person that shot this notices it off in the distance and still continues to film this craft. What's your thoughts here, Brent?
So they keep saying it's a craft. When it could be simply a kite. You wouldn't say a kite is a craft. What they should be using is object. You notice this object, because that's... Alright, okay, we got two objects. Have we? No, is that part of the tree over there?
Yeah, this one's pretty cool.
That's part of the tree. Thought that was another one up here. But it's such a bad video.
I like the way you say it's translucent. You can almost see
Translucent. Could be cloud in front of it though.
through it. But right when we get a pretty good look at it, it definitely has a classic shape of a flying saucer. Now we're zooming in. We're going to get a good look. You can see it almost like move from left to right just a little bit as it rises. Yeah, we can definitely...
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Okay, there's a lot of clouds here. To me, that looks like a kite.
see it rising. And here's another shot right there. It's just hovering there above the cloud.
Okay, it looks like one of those kites. Sure, seen
Clouds.
that.
Kind of just...
Looks like a kite that's got a sort of like a white patch on it. So it looks like a crab in the sky, right?
observing the area. This was pretty wicked. Again, you could almost see right through the bottom
Yeah, look how it's blurry and hazy
of
it
it.
is.
The
Because it's on a smartphone instead of a regular camera. Although my camera is not all that bad. In low light, they get pixelated. In house light, it's not very nice. But when they're outside, it's like crystal clear, right? It's overcast day here. Still, I'd expect a better image from a decent smartphone now.
Translucent.
I think that's just another kite. Kite. Okay, let's just keep on moving. Could be the same one as last time, even. That's what I was saying. Okay, we got some more crap lights in the sky, is it? Now, are we looking at a reflection in a window, or what? Okay. So maybe the colours have been mucked around with. Again to cloud cover. Could be anything at this stage, couldn't it? Again, it looks like illumination flares. Looks like a plane leading it and it's dropping these illumination flares. And it's getting to the cloud there. And this guy's obviously on the move and not stationary. He looks like he might be in a car.
So the California coast, Baja, Mexico, is lighting up.
Hey, Baja, off the coast of California. It's going to be a military exercise of flares, isn't it? It's like the last one they had up.
With these strange lights being spotted, San Diego as of recent times,
Yeah.
But now we're watching another event that has just happened that I'm having a hard time figuring.
I got a feeling this is the typical month where they do military exercises every year. Oh, man's brought some sandwich in, is it? Burger sandwich. How am I going to eat that and do a show? She's done it with toast, so it's crunchy.
Out. We're having some issues trying to figure out exactly what this
Yeah.
is.
They're having some issues,
See
alright.
these lights start to appear. It's at night. We don't see any surrounding lights whatsoever. I don't think this is a little neighborhood. I got a feeling whatever we're looking at, it's suspended in the air. Again, we're enhancing the footage. I'm adding some brightness contrast. According to the eyewitness, this was over a field. And these lights just appeared, and they were just hovering there off about a quarter of a mile. He wanted to run up to it, but the foliage and the bushes were just way too high. It was pitch dark, so he kind of took this video from the road, driving along. And again, he doesn't know what it is. Brent, thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's suspended in the sky, or could it be off on the ocean?
I didn't even see you go. I thought you were a bit quiet though. So, illumination
Some
flares.
ocean lights.
New videos in there, that's just crap.
So yeah, keep your eyes on the skies, but if you guys ever want to get close, come to us, right?
Oh, what the fuck is that? Yo, is that a spaceship? Yo! Oh my god!
Okay, what do you think of this one? Looks like a dark plane contrail to me. In front of a cloud. That's massively out of focus. Yeah, it's just blending in with the clouds. Probably can't see the plane because it would only be like 1 pixel. Coming down to land probably. Good planet. Filmed in portrait again. They should just ban videos being filmed in portrait, maybe. So it's not doing much, is it? Still looks like a plain contrail to me. They've mucked around with the colours there. And the music they got on it. A UFO cloud, man. It's one possibility. Should be on the list. But alien craft and mothership over in the sky, nah. Just absolute nonsense.
Out in the skies, revealing itself, or maybe a lenticular cloud. Brent, what's your thoughts? Natural phenomenon?
Yeah, definitely strange. Could it be just a weather phenomenon, some sort of atmospheric disturbance peeking out of the clouds, creating this kind of disc-like shape? You can see it pretty clear right there. You can see the silver lining and then the dark area underneath this craft. If that's what it is, it's huge. And it sits there hovering, kind of peeking right out of the clouds there. Very unique capture. I like the brightness contrast. It really brings it out. It makes this thing pop. If this is real and not CGI, we're looking at something pretty far out. I'm digging this video.
Yeah, well, I wonder what the ABC News meteorologists or CNN or NBC would think
I think it
about
means
this.
phone app.
Again, with the brightness contrast, we can see the distinct shape of this cylindrical object, and it's massive in size. As of right now, it's 4th of July, Independence Day, and this kind of reminds me of the famous Independence Day movie when the craft came in to our atmosphere and the clouds surrounded it. This is fascinating stuff. Most likely, it's just weather phenomenon, but if it is something there that has revealed itself hiding in the clouds and it's this big, this is its outstanding stuff here. This is a game changer. And again, it reminds me of Independence Day. Guys, what's your thoughts? Does it remind you of the movie?
Contrail.
Is this something natural? So if you're looking for the greatest UFOs on the planet, tune into Third Phase of Moon, because we're the #1 source for the latest UFO news from around the world. So if you've captured any...
They're a joke, aren't they? With amateur music. Okay, let's go to the next video. That was just a load of garbage, wasn't it? I'm just eating something, drinking something too. It's probably weather, but game changer, he says. It's possible weather, but I still think it might be a plane that's passed by and it's a dark contrail that's sort of bent. Oh, right. I opened it up in a separate window, didn't I? So, let's have a look at this one. Okay, we got music. I think there might be recycling videos here. I remember seeing this one. Is that the Montreal one again? Is it? Yeah, I think Scott Brando also had put up something last night on it. Montreal, Canada. I thought maybe it was spotlights on the casino. So I looked on the map to see there was one where that was filmed. The recycling stuff, it was years old now, isn't it?
Submission from Jaime Maussan. He's allowed us to share this with you. He's asking questions. Is the infamous humanoid?
So it's from Jamie. So it's something new that's been recycled.
Something otherworldly. Take a look at this.
Okay, I'll put up with the video now. I remember this one being recycled too. Is that the like the humanoid balloon that's sort of blown along in air current?
T'es trop bizarre, mon gars. C'est quoi ce truc? Ça ressemble à ça, Novi. C'est sûr. Franchement, là, je l'ai sur mon téléphone, ça ressemble. Je l'ai sur mon téléphone, ça ressemble clairement pas à un parapente. C'est clairement pas un parapente.
So what do you reckon, guys?
Non, on va plus le voir, effectivement. Ouais.
So again, coming in from Jaime Maussan out of Mexico, the humanoid. Is it the jetpack man that has been seen by LAX pilots?
You can see it's a bunch of balloons, right? And you can see how that sort of, on the right hand side, that balloon's bobbing up and down with air current.
Flying in? Or is this some kind of strange biological phenomenon that we're unaware of? This is questions that need to be answered, and right now we're trying to figure it out, guys. Have you seen this before? Brent, I want to get your thoughts.
Many times.
Yeah, very unusual. I like the way the person captured this object kind of highlighted in the sky up there. We're seeing a silhouette, and it's creating these unusual shapes. You can see these protrusions sticking out from the top and the bottom of this, whatever craft this is. Could it be a balloon? Well, people might say that, but we're looking at this, and it doesn't have the characteristics of it. Plus, you can see it go behind the mountainside there, which leads to this thing being pretty large. Now, the big question, what is this? Again, another good submission by Jaime. Here we go again. We got a good close-up of it, and you can see it just kind of hover there, and it starts to rotate, and it kind of reveals more of its dimensions and a shape to this unusual
Looks like a big
craft.
bunch of balloons.
Absolutely. It almost seems that it has some wings and a tail on it, and it expanded its wingspan at one moment. Again, that's why I bring up the biological nature.
That's what happens when the balloons are spinning.
This phenomenon that some things are still undiscovered, deep below the oceans and maybe in the skies. Again, at one point, it does seem to...
Blake needs to get out more, see balloons in America, South America.
Look like the jetpack man, but as we get a closer look, we can see the wings expand. This is kind of interesting. Is this some kind of new propulsion system that we're unaware of? Some kind of new drone, new technology in the sky?
Oh,
Again,
please, Blake, you're going to have me on the floor crying with laughter.
At the nighttime of the same object, and that's what's quite interesting, that this thing seemed to hang out for quite some time, captured by two eyewitnesses. Again, guys, what is going on? Let me know in the comments right now.
Right now. Oh, what happened there? On the wrong screen. Okay. Why is it not pausing? Contradicts himself in the same sentence. Yeah, isn't that what MUFON does too? The experts at it. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of got tears in my eyes from laughing at that commentary on this bullshit. Anyone that doesn't think it's a bunch of balloons out there, please have a say on the side chat. Jetpacks have been around for a long time. Yes, you ever seen Lost in Space? It was based on military experiments, actually. That Jetpack Man video I've seen a zillion times. Yeah, it's funny how a bunch of balloons forms a Jetpack Man. Yeah, another swing and laughable miss. That UFO must have the ability to make those birds disappear as they fly in front of them. Not sure what he means there. Could have been roll and shutter where the birds seem to disappear because of slight hand movement. I don't think it's CGI. I think it's just a bunch of balloons. But then again, you never know how silly someone is. They may have filmed a bunch of balloons and then cut it out and mucked around with an editor. So you just don't know. if it's been mucked around with. About the humanoid thing, the fact is that capture isn't shaky at all. It's awesome. As far as the floating white sheet ghost, yeah, I was supposed to be yet to see that one. Respects these guys always for letting the public engage. Any channel will let you engage. You just have to show up. Place close attention to the flock of birds that fly through those lights. Okay, that might be another video, that one a bit. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. First one is too big to be jetpack. The second one looks like, okay, we need to watch the rest of it before reading the comments. Yeah, it's funny how it sort of gradually floats along and gets lower and lower. There's no filming. I've thrown up some leaves in front of the camera to see which way the wind's going at ground level, but as we know, every 100 feet to 1,000 feet it can change directions, depending on what type of land they're filming on, whether it's near the coast or in a valley, hills, mountain range, all changes. Whether on a flat plain, which then the wind generally will be going in the same direction, I'd say. Looks like a gentle breeze there, though. Okay, next one. Go on, excite us.
Last video, quite incredible. But this last video that we just received that we're about to share with you, I can't explain. Take a look at this.
You can't explain. Look at the laugh on his face. Yeah, you're so trustworthy, Blake, and honest looking. Okay.
So when you look at
a bunch of shopping bags, so we let's have a look at this one.
this video, it's kind of interesting. Paranormal comes to mind. Some
Paranormal, straight to paranormal.
kind of phantom or apparition. Again, it's kind of like the last video. We're looking at it close.
Yeah, a bunch of balloons.
But still, I'm trying to make out what it is. It almost looks like some kind of person draped in a huge, bed sheet, a white bed sheet. Casper the Ghost. I don't know. It is morphine.
He's laughing. You can tell. You don't have to see him
At this point, but it does have this smoke.
A smoke now. Okay. So it looks like foggy cloud cover there.
Like phantom nature to it.
Yeah, look at the Blurfo HD quality video we got today.
Bro, what's your thoughts on this
Yeah, out of focus bunch of balloons coming down.
unusual video?
Yeah, you can see it. It's kind of expanded at one point, and then it kind of just shrinks on itself and creates
Okay, shrinks on itself. Sounds like balloons, doesn't it?
this kind of humanoid shape, which is very odd. Right there, you see that.
Yeah, it's rotating.
And it kind of just stays in that position for a while as it kind of descends lower behind
Changing angle there.
those trees there. Again, could this just be floating garbage in the sky, creating some sort of look of pareidolia, you might say? But this is very odd. Again, it's quite large, and it's off in the distance. We're not getting the super.
I think that might be a bunch of wedding balloons tied together, and some of them are popped. That's why it sort of looks like droopy sheets. And you can see there that it's bigger because it hasn't rotated or changed on the strings.
super clear shot
And it sort of rotates more.
of this, but again, this
And we're now seeing it more on the side view, and the other side's on the other side. So you're not. It looks like it's changing shape.
is raw video coming in from.
Okay, it's still rotated. So it looks like some balloons may have popped on it, and that's why it's coming back down to garbage level, polluting the forests, right? Kill a few wildlife, and hasn't dropped into the sea, so it's not going to kill any whales or dolphins yet. So yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 probably solid balloons and a few popped ones in between.
From the public, and they tried their best to capture.
Now gust of winds come along here, so now it's pushing along there. It's more heavy at the bottom, obviously.
The phenomenon, and
It's more lighter at the top, so it's now gone with the wind. Not sure if you can see the wind on the trees because it's so damn blurry.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm digging this one coming in from Jaime Maussan.
Oh yeah, it's from Jaime Maussan. He's the balloon man, isn't he? Humanoid balloon man. Okay, on to the next one. Was there some birds in that one? No, that's Montreal one. I remember there was a flock of birds that disappeared. And that's definitely CGI in the next one. And that's why it eventually got debunked as a CGI one, because the students that made it admitted in the newspapers that was an experiment to see how the media would promote it. So the media got caught out big time on it, and of course Third Phase did, and a few others, fraud channels.
Done some research and looking into this enigma, this event that just happened within the past 12 hours. What's going on?
Liars, it's years old. Prove it. I think Scott put up something. Having a laugh about it too. Here we go. Is that one? Blast from the past. In their new video, YouTube channel and hoax promoters Third Face on the Moon discuss about those UFOs taking over Montreal International Airport without any fact checking. I don't hear of it. Okay, there you go. So let's click on his link here. I think he's got a video he made about it. Yep, there we go. 26 likes. Am I logged in? Yeah, I'll give it another one. Oh, that's right, using music. Okay, before we go back and watch them, we'll watch what it really is. Save me going back through my old live shows for it, where I was trying to figure it out with Google Maps and stuff. And then more videos come out which had the birds in it, and of course the lens flare here didn't map. There's one lens flare here that they added to it via the CGI. Blender probably. I thought it was spotlights from the casino near the airport, but nope, it wasn't. You can see the cloud cover there, so it could easily be spotlights on it, I thought. But all these students worked together just like they did with the Jerusalem footage, and created a fake the same way from different angles. Despite they suspected those videos and pictures could be faked, but they were not sure. They said nothing about the original story of the sightings. So we'll go back and watch that. First of all, that's nothing new. It's a story already exposed. Blah blah blah. He goes a bit too quick for my reading. You could zoom in a bit closer, faster. Here's an article about the hoax. Okay, so there's a web page article about it all in French, of course, as in Canada. Excuse me, tickle in the throat. So that's actually French, and it's not actually a swear word. It's all in French, I think. Did he change it? Right, no, he's changed it to English now. Raw videos and photos of the alleged UFO flying over Montreal. You could read it out, I suppose. However, they are the result of montages by a 3D animation professional produced on behalf of students from blah blah blah. So they didn't actually make it, they just used it. And wanted to see how the media was going to react to it and study it as a case. And the third, YouTube was one of the channels that didn't research it at the time. This article was just out when they released their video, and they didn't do an update until a few days later, and they said, oh, but now they're recycling, and they haven't noticed this one that they've already talked about. I wonder if we can find it on their channel. Let's just try that. Let's see if we can find the original, because it's going to be hilarious when you find the original on their channel, and now they're talking about it because Jamie, my son, gave it to them. They didn't notice it's the same video. What keyword would they use for it though? So you probably make it hard to find it. You know how hard it is to find it with the search tool. Treatle. That's how you spell it, is it? Let's just type that in. Yeah, not seeing the thumbnail of it. That one there is obviously the app, fake app. More flying humanoids. Why hasn't it not come up? I think that's it. Probably maybe put Canada on. There it is there, isn't it? This one we're currently looking at though, isn't it? 22. Because they don't use the right titles for Canada in it, so maybe it's going to be hard to find the original. A year ago, 1 year ago there. Like I said, it wouldn't be too easy to find it probably. not used on a thumbnail. And of course they may have deleted it. Although generally they don't delete it because, you know, look at that fake one there. It's still clickbait fodder to bring in new people. I'm about to give up searching for it. Okay. Others people out there may remember it, but they had it on their channel previously. It looks so much, pretty much, you know, the old videos look pretty much like the new videos. Nothing really much changes, does it? Same old garbage. Close flying saucer. So look how fake that one is. Still got that up. How many views? 54k 2 years ago. Unbelievable, really, though. It's a shame. It would be funny to compare old footage with new. Security team does the same thing. That's what's her name? Sheila the alien. Let's try students, because I think they did do a video saying, oh yeah, it's been debunked. To save face, of course. But still nothing popping up here. Let's sit with students. Okay. No. Must be in one of their combinations ones. Airport, maybe? Yeah, they may have put airport in it. Right, what have I spelled wrong? Airpost. Here we go. 22. Justin 21. Okay. It's on that one. There you go. They have covered it before, guys. I got you. 1 year ago over major airports. And they said the same here. And they didn't even realise they've covered it before. So we'll just play that one. Just to make a mockery of them. Shows my memory is better than theirs. Let's see if it's a recycle. Jamie Masson.
Because I was kind of noticing the lens flare element, and you know, it's this thing that the optical lens from your phone picks up, or your camera, and it really moves in dynamic to the light in the sky, and it's doing exactly that.
Not going to get any information.
And MUFON. What if he realised it was the same one?
I feel like I'm being set up for something, either.
Yeah, you always set up, mate. You set yourself up.
I'm not sure yet. I'm more on the positive side.
Montreal, Canada.
Now let's just listen to that. Did he get it from Jamie Mazan? Oh, that's really loud.
They have received multiple emails from sources around the world in regards to a sighting that
not from Jamie then.
Montreal, Canada. Luminescent green lights were seen over an airport over there.
So you saw how I found it. I did some research on even on their own listings. But they did actually cover it later next day or so, saying new evidence comes out. And I'm not sure how we can do that one, because it's not on this video. It's a shame you can't say jump to where it is in the list. I don't think there's any option to do that, unfortunately. And then we could have a look at the next couple of videos after. But you see what I mean. They don't even know what they're doing. So yeah, Scott's got all the evidence here about that case, and it's the same pictures and everything. Students filming it. And we'll just carry on.
Buckle up, everybody. Blake Cousins, this is Third Phase of Moon. Appreciate everybody in the live premiere tonight. Let's get to it. Rich, I know you were aware of this. This is kind of happening in liquid time. This is relevant. What's going on? First, when I looked at this video, I was kind of
Is it recycled? Because he's talking about Rich here.
concerned whether this could be CGI, manipulated, coming from a source from Espresso News, but really not giving links back. What was your first impressions of this video before we get to the photographs?
Well, first impressions were this is not real. This looks totally fake. And then I saw some photographs where we're not talking
So that sounds like a clip from the last year one, doesn't it?
about them yet, but it made me think twice about whether this is CGI or not. And looking at the video, it looks like a lot of.
So why do you say it's from Jamie Masson? It's got to be a rehash, isn't it? Something's not right here.
CGI. So I was thinking, well, this is CGI. It's got to be. There's no way it isn't. The light doesn't bleed out like it normally does. I'm seeing the fuzziness of it, but then you look a little further into the video and it's foggy.
It's well done, but there are errors in it. Eventually you can spot the errors if you get enough video sources.
So my first initial thought was CGI.
You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Mine was spotlights on a cloud. You don't see the beams, of course.
Wasn't really going to touch it until I received other photographs from different sources, and you yourself have received other sources and other photographs to possibly corroborate this event. And as I'm looking at
if there's any other news, because these pictures they're mind-blowing because of the way they're situated, and it doesn't look like it's fake. If it is, I would be shocked, but unless it's friends that are.
I think it's recycled. I mean, they've clipped it out. They're such douchebags, right? Thinking that people have forgotten after a year already.
Trying to, make something bigger than it really is, or.
So they've got all these videos coming in, and they've got to recycle crap like this, and then say it's from another source.
Somebody's, pulling the wool over our eyes, and I'm not sure yet.
feeling that the people within that area might come across maybe the same, especially if it was coming out within real time. What's cold in that neighborhood of the Jackhead Reservation to be quiet, not say anything about what they
So where's these
experienced,
birds that's in here
but
somewhere?
they were actually, we were hearing that they were actually taking cameras away from the people over there and to look at these photographs even closer to see the detail. I see some of these,
and you can see how it's lighting up the clouds itself. So it's an interesting picture, other than it being under a branch.
That's why I said it was spotlights off a cloud to start with.
motion of the
Until we see the birds. Where's the birds? But no, this is recycled from 21. They're dirt bags for doing that.
vehicles. Then again, you might have
I almost forgot to say, that light is in the sky. Now let me tell you, there's an anomaly that happens when you record a light at night looking at the black sky. And even during the day, if you're aiming towards or near the sun or a bright light, you see a real tiny speck of light that is reflecting off of the lens on back to the frame. So
No, it's reflecting off the back of the lens because it bounces off one of the other lenses, which I've explained in the past. How it happens, how it creates a lens
you
flare.
can see everything, and also this little dot. And I know you know about the dot, that wherever you move.
Yeah, but we're filming 3 lights here, so there should have been more than one dot. That's why it's that's where one of the errors is. There. A couple of those might be bright enough to form 2 dots. So where's the lens flare now?
that alone
There's one at the top now.
represent something in reality, that it's really there, and to try and fake this light refraction in perfect time with
Okay, so I would have thought that would have been like 3 dots.
the camera movement, that would be hard to
So that's one of the errors there.
be able to give us some information. What's your thoughts on the country of Canada, Montreal's airport? You think they're going to be cooperative with America?
Yeah, I really don't.
So is that new or old? I should have really see if I can see the same dialogue, shouldn't I? Let's see. I should open that one back. I should have kept it open. Where's 21? Okay, Justin. Let's see if we can find the same dialogue.
Hit the nail on the head right there, Rich, because I was kind of noticing
21. Sounds like the same dialogue, doesn't it? Hit the nail on the head, Rich.
Oh no, I've never called them or interacted with them, so we'll find out. I have a feeling that I'm not going to get any information, but
Let's see.
the lens flare element, and it's this thing that the
Is it the same music?
as far as this video goes, I just wanted to add one more thing that I forgot to say, is that they're so short. If you're videotaping something as important as this, with breaking up into 3 orbs and just starting to take off, why don't we see the end of the video? What happens? And that, to me, is...
Now this comes up, and hopefully we could get different sources, but I am...
Do noises. Okay, let's see. So 50% here. 50%.
not saying anything about...
There we go. Same music.
I might have a feeling that the people within...
Recycled crap. We've been caught again, Blake. Lying. 50%. Have we got a 50% thing on? There we go.
I'm hoping the whole team members
50%. Let's see if we've got the music.
hold it. Sometimes things just seem
bleed out like it normally does.
liquid time. This is... They received multiple emails from sources
Multiple emails from
around the
sources.
world
So
in
that's
regards to a
been
sighting
cut
that
out.
happened over Montreal.
Okay, so how did it start off again?
This sighting lights were seen over an airport.
Okay, let's see.
With you all right here at Third Phase of Moon. Now, this sighting out of Montreal Airport, multiple eyewitnesses, strange lights in the sky creating a formation. We're going to investigate this a little bit. We asked Rich to get his opinion in regards to this major event. Listen up. Earlier today, I received multiple emails from sources around the world in regards to a sighting that happened over Montreal, Canada.
Exactly the same.
Canada. Luminescent green lights were seen over an airport. Luminescent green lights were seen over an airport over there.
This is like debunking security, faking leaker voices. 22, 21. Paul's got your asses. Your asses. Okay, so let's move on.
I'm going to break it down. This is kind of breaking possibly are in different situations in the sky.
You know about the dot, that wherever you move, that little dot will...
There are people out there that's captured this. Something creepy.
So they're getting lots in email. They've got so much to bring to us. They got to recycle a year-old
Get your
crap
camera
video.
out. Start to film it and upload.
And upload it to the Third Phase. We got to live, guys. We got to make money off your videos.
That video to YouTube and copy.
Why don't you create your own damn UFO videos? Oh, right, they already tried that. Why don't you use your own camera to see if you can catch some balloons in the sky? Oh, they've already done that. They want you to do it so they don't get blamed.
Paste that link to my email. It's in the description. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We got some updates for you. Billy Carson tomorrow is going to join us.
Oh, yeah, that's it. He's playing his music from his CD. With Paranormal, whatever his name is. Michael. Yeah, on to the next video. That was fun. Exposing them. Liars. So, even Scott got caught out in that one. He didn't actually say that one was from James Mazan. Did he? He said it at the beginning of the video and showed the other ones, which are a bunch of balloons. And then he tacked that one on from a year ago to make it sound like it was something new. And on to the next one. Dark Knight. I know this is going to be pretty sad, this one. Here we go for time anyway. Feels like I've only just started, but it's already come up to 3 hours. What the hell? Where's the time gone? Okay, is it still working alright here? Hey, anyone out there? Anyone out there? The truth is out here. Channel.
We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 miles from the west.
Okay, advertising. What? Documentary? I bet you it is it? Beyond the Signal. Oh no, they've made a documentary about it. Is it going to tell the truth, how it's made up of random stories all made into one big lie? No.
Come back.
Look at the smell straight away. Welcome back, you suckers. Make sure you send $10 to me and buy my movie.
Look, Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. And we've got the man himself behind the Black Knight satellite, Beyond the Signal.
The man himself, so the guy that actually faked it or what? From a space blanket that escaped when we got NASA footage showing how it happened.
And he's going to be joining us in just a moment, and we're going to be going over the documentary in detail. What is the Black Knight satellite? How old is it? Is it debunked or is it something otherworldly?
100% debunked, a million times over. So the guy himself, all right, he's a black man. How about that, Black Knight?
Our planet for
Dude.
13,000 years.
Yeah, well, about maybe I would say close to 12 years ago, 11 and a half, 12 years ago max, I came across the information about the Black Man satellite. And it was just some casual information on a forum online. And I was like, wow, I wonder if this could be real. Then I came across some more and some more.
Obviously, he's not a good researcher then. I did some research on Facebook, and the guy that said he did the calculations for the 13,000 light years, he made a mistake. And he was talking about the Tesla radio signal, which had been incorporated into the Black Knight satellite story.
And I said, this is pretty interesting. I need to look into this, you know? So I started studying and researching it. And then I started seeing some links between the Black Knight satellite, or potentially what could be a satellite orbiting Earth, and something from ancient Sumerian text.
There you go. There's your problem. Religious, is it? And he's creating a movie so he can make lots of money out of these suckers that haven't been watching me to get the real answers.
It's something that has mass, and there was an estimate that came back one time in the past from NASA that they estimated about 15 tons. But the time that they made that estimate,
Come back from NASA. So what's he talking about there? Because they knew it's a space blanket. So is that... have we got people on video or some NASA documents where they actually make this claim? Or is it some story that you read of a above top secret forum or something?
neither us or Russia could launch 15 tons into space. So what is this thing?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're trying to find out.
Yeah, Blake's just trying not to burst out laughing. Look. Yeah, you lyrics. So that's what we're trying to find out. You suckers.
Yeah, Black saying, do you think we've done some rendezvous, possibly space?
You can see the even the eye movements. He's trying to not laugh, but he's trying to think of a story to blab out, right, while he's doing the interview.
Force have gotten a close-up look at the Black Knight satellite.
He's always looking to the left, which means he's making up story, right?
That crossed any of the theories out there?
I believe it's one of the main reasons for the Space Force.
He's got the worst body language ever, right?
Something that's orbiting Earth, and there's been actually now documented more than one object, but I just couldn't find enough data on the second object, even though two objects have been labeled in many newspapers and also one in Time magazine. And so what I said was, wow, this is pretty interesting. What if the Space Force has come together because they realize there is an object, potentially alien, orbiting our planet?
What is it? The STS-61, is it? Let me just see. I'm just going by memory. STS-61 space blanket. Solar rays. Was that the one? Solar ray blankets does not. Okay, so I got the wrong number. Maybe my memory's not right there, but space blanket. So let's put in Black Knight. Or was it one word? Let's come up again. think it might be in that video where you see it get lost. That's kind of the same videos, but there's a part 2, part 1. Okay, is that the one? Let's so we can play NASA stuff because it's public domain. Let me just see. It looks like an old video where the service in a satellite.
We're going to move right over in the corner.
Coming out, the first EVA.
Just
the one that we expected to behave well, and it did. And then SOX did the separation maneuver that pushed us away from it, and you can see some of the jets fire. The solar array begins flapping, and we were very, very concerned about stripping that screw.
Instrument for EV.
brought it up and then held it here and then pointed the corner down toward me as I came around to remove the DOB or deployable optical bench protective cover. All those little mirrors and CoStar are right in that corner, and they're retracted of each of us as we come in. You had to be very careful. Antennas and all these things. It was great to get these things.
It's being pulled away, and the SOX at the control of the orbiter for the...
A little bit of aurora up there, looking back towards the
General Air Force Station of our turnaround to hack.
Was it that one? Got a feeling that was the one. Hey John, how's it going? I see your name. It has anal penetration above. Enough of that. We don't need that here. I'm still here. I'm trying to make dinner while listening to Paul talking about the layers and cheats. Ufology world. Yeah. Yeah, just trying to jog my memory on this mission, wherever that's the one that had space flight blanket. Can't remember. Had 2 videos on it, and there's 2 that's come up. Let's have a look at that one. Okay. It's on our web page. Yes, sir.
Okay, looks like the film started all right and beyond.
Orbit. The first daytime scene that we saw once we got on orbit and came out of the Terminator here was Northwest Australia. Became pretty familiar with Australia.
Spinning at 50 revolutions per minute, leaving the payload bay. It leaves with a resounding thump and spacewalk. We've done a lot of water tank work.
For the first of the... Here you can see.
Interesting looking at some of the old stuff.
The arm flies wonderfully. It's just such a great tool. Real smooth and no surprises. And the most amazing thing for me was watching him pick up this thing which was the equivalent of a 4-story building, this truss, access truss, and just twirl it around.
Okay, now they've got one on International Space Station, haven't they? It does the same thing. Okay, let's see if... Maybe it's 62, not 61. I'll just get rid of the number. Thermal. We'll try that. Alien conspiracy. Truth about the Black Knight satellite. Okay, what mission was it? That's what we're after. 88. 88. 2 fat ladies. Okay. Extra photo. Ocean. Let's have a look at that one. That was the Space Shuttle tile one, wasn't it? Oh no, that's Black Knight. Is that the Black Knight? Yeah, that's the Black Knight. It's getting further away. So it's 88, 61. I don't know what the 61 was for now. So let's put it in. 88. Let's come up again. Conspiracy theory, let's come up again. Let's come up again. And unidentified mystery satellites. Fake channel. USA Today, is it? Fact check. Okay, let's have a look at it. US mainstream media fact check. The claim that unidentified and mysterious origin over Earth. I wonder if that black dude added that into his movie. Facebook page. The image was shared more than 100 times in about a week. The black object is not a satellite. Okay, is it talking about Black Knight satellite though? Okay, a lot by NASA. $23,000 pieces of orbital decay larger than 4 centimeters are known to exist in Earth's orbit. That's quite a lot of junk up there, isn't it? We rate as false the claim that there is an unidentified satellite of extraterrestrial origin near Earth. Based on our research, the black object seen in the image is a piece of space debris. 1998. So is that the second one he's talking about? The second image he was talking about in there in the interview. So what was the picture? It doesn't seem to be here. No. So I'm not sure what image they're talking about there. We know the one's the space shuttle tile. One's the thermal blanket, and the other one's a space debris. Black Knight satellite JPEG. STS-88. Space debris. Cropped JPEG. I wonder why they crop it. There's another truth one. Want the video, don't we? Mission blankets. Oh, well, let's check that in first. Videos. 98. So it's probably in there. That might be the full video actually.
Well, this is the STS-88. A night launch is pretty spectacular. Here's
an hour and a half to maneuver it up, and
sounds like really similar to the other video we're watching.
Deck here as we approach Zarya from 600 feet underneath it.
We were very, very happy after we grappled this 40.
For a lot of equipment outside to be added to the external surface. Removing the cables from the Russian-built hardware Zarya and transferring them across.
Sounds really similar to the last video, but that's them
allowing electrical power to flow in
talking over the video footage of them doing a job out space again.
We continue.
So it sounds like the last one, but it's not. It's actually talking about this mission this time.
Allow Houston to have video teleconferencing and command and data to
deploying that antenna, now the Russian Toru system
modules from the space station. Through the mid-deck pressurized mating adapter 1, and here comes Sergey.
Launch.
You have to look very carefully to see us up at the very top of that stack. Two small figures working.
After we were given go from the ground to fix those two trays, we did that, and then we proceeded back down.
And Jim was, and we understand it's doing, you can see me preparing some
pulsing, and it's so bright that as it
on for a touchdown.
So they don't show the mistake on space blanket on
Kennedy
it.
Space Center. Our touchdown speed's about 195 knots.
88 Endeavour. First shuttle. International Space Station. Uh, 88 mission. Yeah, you'd think it'd be easy to find it, wouldn't you? Launch NASA footage. 20 minutes. Post-flight presentation that we just listened to. So obviously chopped out the space blanket, or we skimmed past it maybe.
OTC east from the Kennedy Space Center. 4.5 minutes.
Your single engine ops 3.
30 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center.
Terrible. It's not on that one. Okay, let's narrow it down. Blanket. I love my blanket. Michael Jackson. Oh. Read history of the space blanket. Atlas. What is it? Obscuria. The Black Knight satellite. Hey, let's see if they got the footage here. Oh, they probably chopped it out in NASA. Space blanket. Oh, right, there's the image. One of them. They got the video. Original video. There's another one. Security teams used it a few times. The space blanket. Okay. No video. View, but out of what? Entry and landing. Yeah, about the space blanket bits. Come on, guys. Here we go. Black Knight. Is that NASA footage? Let's have a look. I know I got it in my past live shows, but I'm just seeing how easy it is to find it this time. Crystal profile.
Hello, my basking shark.
Okay, just give him this. Here we go, he's got the video. Added.
On the exact day and time which the Black Knight photos were taken. During both videos, one can see the insulation blanket tumbling and rolling into space, gleaming in the sunlight, resembling the Black Knight, well, exactly.
So it goes dark and black. So it must have been in that video, I must have skimmed past it. Looks like the same thing that we saw. Whereabouts is it? Okay, they're up here working. So it's got away from him, he's saying.
And if that still doesn't convince you, an individual by the name of Ectoplasm 8 was able to point out the Black Knight object possessed the exact same cuts, creases, and tears that the insulation blanket lost during the mission bared. I, for one, think it's extremely safe to say that the Black Knight satellite has been thoroughly debunked.
But now, Third Face, I got a new movie on it. Well, some black dude has. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up.
And I have to admit, the photos are truly awesome looking, in my opinion resembling the monolith from 2001 A Space Odyssey, but nonetheless...
Anyway, the original videos are out there. Just Google my channel for Black Knight. I thought we could probably find it again. And it looks like they've got the same frame where it gets lost. But I can't quite see it in the video. Maybe it's going behind and it drifts off around this way. But anyway, it's in those videos that I show. You can just keep on searching. Eventually you'll find it. But you notice that none of these guys that talked about doing research on it talk about what space shuttle mission and what debunks it was.
Potentially sending information back, recognizance data on us as to where we are, what we're doing as a species on this planet. We need to...
See, he's trying not to burst out laughing.
Term?
Yeah, cosmic top secret clearance.
And what
Anyway, we don't need to waste much
behind the
time on that
scenes,
one.
and then just say, hey, this was a threat to national security or even global security.
Okay, so how did he start off with this guy? There's that image there, isn't it? Oh, one of them. Black Knights.
Welcome back. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. And we've got the man himself behind the Black Knight satellite, beyond the signal. And he's going to be joining us in just a moment. And we're going to be going over the documentary in detail. What is the Black Knight satellite? How old is it? Is it debunked? Or
It burnt up a year later in the atmosphere anyway.
Beyond the signal. You're opening up eyes in regards to this. We've been following the Black Knight satellite for quite some time, many years. The NASA photos and some objects even here on Earth that look like the Black Knight satellite. But let's just start it off.
Yeah.
What got you into the Black Knight satellite? Do you believe this is a satellite that's been roaming around our planet for 13,000 years?
Yeah, well, about maybe I would say close to 12 years ago, 11 and a half, 12 years ago max, I came across the information about the Black Knight satellite. And it was just some casual information on a forum online. And
there you go, guys. Is it all about the same thing, is it? Garbage.
Black Knight. Black Knight.
So yeah, I suppose they got links to advertising it here, have they? Let's see how much it's selling for. Can we find out? Good for you, Billy. Billy Carson, who is he? Is he someone special? Or is it someone that we should know? Oh, why is it not? Let me get it, probably because I'm zoomed in. The name seems to ring a bell, but I'm not sure. Jesus, what's this crap? Let's go. There we go. He's a movie maker, is he? Is that the one? Who is this guy? Let's unmask him. Best-selling author of The Companion of the Emerald Tablets. He sounds like a religious person. Expert host of new original streaming series by Gaia. That's probably where I've heard the name. Named Deep Space, a series explanation of secret space program. So he's part of the Corey Good bangers. UFO bangers, spangers, and the types of technologies being used along with their potential origins. Carson, isn't he one that's been on Ancient Aliens? The other bunch of shills in this field. Team of renowned scholars, this sounds like religious people, has come together to decipher the riddle dribble of our origins and piece together our forgotten history. Their mission is to provide enough evidence or, you know, referencing stuff in the Bible that was written by humans. Great evidence, no photos, no artifacts. Okay, so that's definitely him, isn't it? Maybe not. I don't know. Oh no, that was the Bigfoot one we looked at, wasn't it? The Bigfoot. What was his name? Robert someone. That wore the suit, claimed to wear the suit. He was 6'3", and we know how tall it is now because they got a radar off the area and measured the heights of the trees to the image overlay, and it was 6'3". No, he's 6'1", and the image was 6'3". So give or take, wearing a suit with some extra padding on top. Yeah, 6'3" matches up nicely. I reckon he's telling the truth. Anyway, have we got any other references to this Billy guy? Rolling Stone. I don't know if that's the same one. Yes, it looks like external tablets on Apple Music. Entrepreneur. Of course he is. He's out to make money out of religious and UFO people, by the looks of it. Okay. Else he'd be giving it away free. Our research, here it is here. You can watch it free on YouTube. If you want to support the next project, here's a crowdfund link. And this is what we want to research and bring to you in the next movie. And if it sounds good, people will fund it, of course. Okay, rags to riches. Yeah, how to get rich. Emerald tablet seems to come up a lot. Forbidden knowledge, that's where I've heard him. Founder of Forbidden Knowledge, the Eden Flow. I wonder if he's got his own church. Oh, what are we going? We got no. Are you not a moderator anymore? We got to give you moderator rights here. So at least you can post stuff without being blocked there, John. There you go. Show comments. Oh, something you said Google didn't like. Well, quite a lot of stuff you said. What'd you say? Third phase of lies. I can't stand them. This idiot. Go get him, Paul. So how come Google didn't like that? Can't see anything really wrong with that comment. Crazy censorship, isn't it? Blake and his brother. God, what a train wreck. So you said the word morons there to their cash cow, Blake cousins. They can't have that. Billy sounds like another Joseph Smith, Mormon church idiot. Maybe if his writing gets any better. And, well, there we go. You got a spanner now. Well, we have a huge thunderstorm going on outside at the moment. I love it. Yeah, I used to like the thunderstorms too. So, what garbage have we got here? Eden Flow. Alright, you can see what these guys are up to. Educational life. Reading tarot. Reality now. Billy Carson, founder of 4. Is it the same guy? Is it a black dude? Yeah, that's him, isn't it? That's the one. He's a shill. Con man. Red alert, red alert. Red alert, indeed. Sort of persons that give me the creeps, actually. So it's the same guy, isn't it? Here he is. Yep, this looks like that picture. Pretty sure I've seen him on Ancient Aliens. Actually, I might just do a search on that. Ancient Aliens, Billy Carson. There we go. Has it got Ancient Aliens? And an Aki, that's the one. Sure, he's been on Ancient Aliens. Maybe I have to put it in quotes. Why is it not working? Billy Carson, Ancient Cosmology. Ancient Aliens, there we go. Fractal holographic universe. He's into everything that you can't, it has no solid evidence, right? Ancient Aliens panel, there you go. Contact in the Desert, the biggest shill group ever. Oh, there you go, I lost some subs again. That's alright. Watch this video. No. Only pay. How much do you have to pay? Start your free trial. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we expected. Contact in the Desert again. Is it going to another paid thing? There they go. There he is. Next to the other shill. Giorgio, who's next to the one that kicked it off. What's his name again? Van Dang. Who's that one next to him there? I don't know these other two clowns. Does it play? I've got a little clip.
Evolution and be influenced by extraterrestrials. So we are the offsprings of them. That's why they.
Yeah. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Aye. God Almighty. I don't know. If there was a God, he wouldn't let these shills do what they do, right? This is my evidence, proof against God. If he really existed, these guys would die off pretty young because he'd snap his fingers. So, yep, no, you can't do that. Not in my name. You can't say that about the tablets. No, you can't. Okay, we got some. Hey, Metal Gaming's arrived. Goofon finished. You watch Goofon, don't you? Or have I got the wrong guy? No, I just made you a moderator, John, so you can don't get your comments censored, because I know I can trust you. Haha, the power just went out in my RV. Oh, so he's probably gone now. I still have my AC. All right, okay. Yeah, I got my UPSs for that. Brian Forrester is the last on the list. Oh, is he? All right, he's another shill, isn't he? He's got his own museum where he's trying to get tourists down there, playing the skulls to be half alien, half human, which you can never prove anyway, right? We got 50% DNA of a banana, for Christ's sake. And they can find, reckon they could find out whether something's alien DNA. If we're based on aliens, DNA is going to be 100% identical to theirs, which is going to be like human DNA. Unless you know something different. Is that showing up? Yeah. Okay, what are you saying here? Brian has a YouTube channel, has ancient world researcher, done it for 30 years, going to Peru and Egypt and etc. Yeah, it's all just speculations and theories though, isn't it? So yeah, I can't play too much of this because they'll probably try and get me shut down, right? But they don't want to do it themselves. They want to get other people to get their hands dirty to try and take this small channel out that's exposing them. Pretty solidly, I might add. Yeah, they're not frauds. If they're frauds, I wouldn't be promoting them. Goof on. So it's, yeah, right. Guess they conned you, goof on, didn't they? I know you're watching, and you got your little army of trolls that troll me and report back. A bit like Tyler Clotner. It's funny how things never change. So yeah, I think we've probably run out of time, really, to keep on going. I really should do that. I should do some more research and bring together what I'm trying to do tomorrow. 3.5 hours already. I have gabbled a wee bit though. It's only 3 o'clock though, isn't it? That's because I started early, you see. Let's just quick have a look. Has Curtin done anything yet? Or is he just on another holiday? No, he hasn't done anything. He's still on a holiday. Oh, it was 4th of July. I had to go away on the beach, you know. Meantime, he could take his cameras and stuff and try and capture some evidence, right? No, he doesn't need to. These guys are donating to him $5,000 a month on Patreon. In fact, I might have a check of that, see if the numbers are dropping. He had about 400. It seemed to be like 400 to 440. About tab. Where's Patreon? Mick, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. He's still on Facebook. Support on Patreon. Let's have a look. Is it still 400? It doesn't tell us how much it is though. Whereabouts does it say normally? About here. I've gone past it. It's gradually dropping. He's lost 60 donators. So he might have to start working soon, eh? To try and get that back up again. 394, eh? And I got a magic number of 0. On Patreon anyway. And I had one for a while to start with. It turned out to be Nocturnal News with a fake name that was being paid by Tyler Clotner to troll me on Patreon, or to keep an eye on me in case I posted anything that could totally upset him. Because I did the leaker stuff, right? Eric, I think is the fake name they used. And I thought it was, I didn't cotton on until this year, actually. But it's a bit late to give back the money. Haven't got it to give back. Let's see. Who else do we need to quickly skim over? UFO Man, not sure he's doing much at the moment. Platform growing bigger and bigger. So to 37,000 now. You got a big jump there by having, what's his name on there? Which is a bit of a shame. Lou. He had Lou on there. And he's got this other guy working with him. Travis. Who's this guy? That's that UAP guy, isn't it? Is it? Little short guy. What's this one? Current official. So it's mostly doing interviews now, right? This guy that built his channel of lies. Once you get up there, right, you can sort of do whatever you want then. Seeing as in ufology, to grow big, you got to use 4 channels and mix with them and share each other. Then discard them and then just carry on with your own stuff. I'm pretty sure alien scientists used to promote all that sort of dodgy stuff to grow big too. Most channels had dodgy stuff, even Lions Ground had a lot of CGI. Suspected that he made them as well, and he denied not. He had evidence that he got it from people and all that same sort of still that we get here from Third Phase, of course. I think he's removed it all because he deleted his channel, right? So I think that's it. I think we're sort of up to speed. Nocturnal news, same old crap. He started off good. Last time we looked about the shills. If you watched it, he's got a couple more ones up. So of course everybody's jumping on the Georgian stones, the guide stones being blown up. I didn't want to actually talk about that, but looks like everybody in ufology put it in there. Why, I don't know. Because it was like, a trending topic, I guess. So if you put that in your title, you might get a few extra views. But I think Google's onto that. So here he's talking about shells. And straight on, he's onto spy cameras around NASA. And he's always going on about NASA faking stuff. So he's no better. And all his evidence is hearsay and ice crystals.
Here we are at
NASA. So has he got anything else on this? Just driving around NASA in Texas, was it?
Yes, that's the newer one. So
I saw that coming in the back gate like 2 weeks.
So yeah, that's not too bad. Doing a little documentary tour of the place. So we can let him away with that one. So maybe he's learned his lesson, I don't know. Compared to this garbage here that he did at the Soho and NASA, he's no better.
Alright, nocturnal news. So look guys,
So he took that speech he said, he took it away out of context, didn't he? Where he was saying that we never went to the moon. When he was actually saying we never went back to the moon.
And, again, I was going to play it in its entirety, but I thought I'd talk over it. Oh!
Okay, so they were harassing the guy to swear on the Bible that he's telling the truth. So he'd rather punch the guy rather than actually just do it and just get rid of the guy.
Go there and okay, this man just said because we didn't, with his word salad, we didn't.
And of course I debunked all that on that live stream at the time.
An 8-year-old's question.
I'm listening.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and
so yeah, that's what you can do when you can chop off the front of the question. And why didn't we go back? We didn't go there because they cut the funding. Was really what he's saying. But anyway, that's what I mean about that guy. He's a cousin of Tyler Clotner. So, you know. But yeah, oh crikey, I've got a lot of comments on the side, have we? Okay, we'll probably just leave it there and wrap up for today. It's getting a wee bit long. Like I said, I got a ton of stuff really to research and go over with you guys. At some stage. But I need to get on top of these projects. Hi, how are you? I'm good. Thanks, dear Medal. It's Lou Elizondo. Yeah, that's who got another 7,000 subs. If I can get Lou on, get that 7,000 subs right, I'll be away. But I did ask him. I did actually ask Lou before he actually went on these other shills YouTubes to perhaps he wanted to come on and talk about other stuff I had to ask. Not the same old crap that everybody else asked, but I was just going to ask him about the theories on his universe model and mine, as you know. He's investigating UAP topics and coming forward to want to know that the truth is the top secret UFO reports documentary on 2 seasons with Tom DeLonge. Yeah, we already know that though. I have seen it. It's quite interesting. Okay. Yeah, they were talking about a new interview he did with Kirk or someone. Was that the one? Oh no, that was Mick West. Yeah. Okay. A new documentary, is it? Or what? UFO topics. Yeah, just join our UFO group and just post links to some of the stuff so we can check it out and we can bring it forward on future live streams if you want. Chris Mellon, yeah. So I always thought Chris Mellon was the guy that was running the show and the most credible of all of them. He seemed to have better ideas of stuff, like the triangle craft is perfect if you had like sensors in the corner that you could actually map chemicals and things underground using the 3 corners, and probably microwaves to peer under the ground like they do with the LiDAR and other technologies to find if there's any gold, any other, you know, to see how dense it is and all that sort of stuff, water pockets, tunnels, I guess. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up there. I'm going to beam up to the ship. Bing. Gone. I'll say good night. And I'll see you on the next one. This is up to coming up to 4 hours, is it? Good night. See you tomorrow, maybe. If not, I will try and do one midweek. Like I said, it wasn't really organised today, but I seem to be having a few people pop on tonight, which is good to see you guys, and a few donations, which was a bit of a shock to get a donation. Thanks very much. Means that some people like me. Not everybody hates me. Yeah, we didn't even use the stamps again. On third phase, I should have used them. I totally forgot. Anyway, ending it now. Stop gabbering. Get to bed. Or me. I've had my burger. I was brought in. Good night. See you tomorrow, maybe. Yeah. See how I feel about doing an early morning show. Whether I can research the material I want to as well. Is that going? Oh, yeah, it's just delayed. All good. Good night, John. It's good to see you. You haven't been around for a while. And thanks, Michael King. Thanks, Meadow. Thanks, Mr. G. Some are regulars now, isn't it? Oh no, 5 people watching 4. What's wrong with you? I'll end it there.